Let's fucking go.
The Emperor has been expecting you.
Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and you're very welcome back to episode number 87 of The Hope Show, a weekly, well actually the last few weeks more like a monthly, a weekly live stream dedicated to 1/6 scale collecting in general, movies, TV shows and pop culture. Yeah, we've been away, we took about a 4-week break there. To be honest, there wasn't much to discuss, there wasn't much to talk about, but we are back now and hopefully we have a few people watching, and we'll bring in the panel and we'll get started. We actually have a bit to chat about today. We've got Bob, the tiny art guy, we've got Jim Collector, and we have got Phil, aka Rogue One Photography, and we may have one or two people joining us later on. How are we getting on this evening? Heard you're in a sauna, Bob and Jim.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
It is terrible.
Yeah, cooling down a bit.
Spritz.
And what about the what about Phil? Are you? What's it like in Wales? Is it hot there too?
Yeah, it's about 21 degrees at the moment. It's bearable.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't mind the heat. I'm quite tropical. I'm not into the cold. So
Tropical Phil. You need to change your screen name there to Tropical Phil.
tropical feel.
Yeah. So it was quiet the last few weeks. It seems unusually quiet to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. Was it just me, or was it just things coming out?
Really.
Normally, they have at least something to talk about every single week, if not a lot.
Where's Wolverine?
A few months ago, they put out too much.
Yeah.
And now there's a bit of a vacuum.
Overloaded.
Like if it wasn't for if it wasn't for Han and the inert Michael Jackson, there really wouldn't be much to build a show around today. Like, you know, they're interested in whether you're getting them or not. They're kind of, you know, they're big event characters, I think. But we do have a bit to talk about. There's some bits in between as well. We got the usual games and stuff like that. So we might actually start off and address the chat. There's about 15 people watching live. It's usually like if you take a few weeks off, or sometimes even a week or two off, the numbers drop off, and this isn't our usual times. But look, straight away, as usual, the pinned comment to the live chat or in the live chat is the link to become a channel member. If you want to support the channel in that great way, it is greatly appreciated, but there's no obligation. Just being here, engaging the chat, hitting the like, subscribe button is support. So we have Vita, Jim's better half, and a channel member. Thanks very much, Vita. Hope Show's back. Good evening, all. Thanks very much for watching. Of course, we have Bob, Tiny Art Guy, who's a channel member and panel member, same as Phil, Rogue One Photography. We've got Jim, of course, as well, channel member, and we got JB Velo. Good evening. Pardon me. We also have Jose Plus, who also is a channel member. Thanks very much for being here. Hey fellas, have a great show. We will do our very best. We got Geo, the movie canon, did an episode of Visions about 2 weeks ago with Geo. Thoroughly enjoyed the conversation, and really nice guy. So yeah, definitely. Hopefully he's been on the Hope Show before, and hopefully he'll be on again. So Gio, just let us know. I assume you're working now, but if you're not, if you wanna join us, you just let us know. We got the Humble Collector UK. Great to see you back. Looking forward to the stream. Thanks very much for being here. Much appreciated. We got a channel member, 12-inch Moose Stream. Hello, community of collectors. I received Hot Toys John Matrix Commando Arnie figure. Total cost $40. Does anyone collect here? No, none of us are collectors, but everyone knows that you have that because we've seen it posted in every single stream for the last week and every single Facebook post. But thanks very much for being here, and hope you enjoy that grail piece. We have got, who else do we have here? We have got Feel the Burn Robert, thanks very much for joining. We have Ryan, aka Respect the Lore. Myself and Ryan went to see Nine Inch Nails there about 3 weeks ago, I think it would have been, in Dublin. And Ryan actually gave me a lift home because he was passing through Drogheda and he was on his way up north. And we had a good time. Himself and his mate Jay. Yeah, we had the crack. Great music, great gig, and there was some funny discussions in the car home anyway. So hopefully run into you boys again at another gig. Thanks very much for being here, much appreciated. We got Keatley, and we're up to date. So we'll just bring something up there, and we'll get straight into some sort of a topic or discussion. Here's the grid. I shared it with you earlier on. Bob, live from the sauna.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about? Your choice. What are you in the mood for?
Let's talk about Luke.
Luke.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. So we get Luke here. And we have, that's the other fella. And we have Luke.
Nice.
There we go. So this is the Dark Empire Luke from the expanded universe from a comic book series. It has a rooted artisan version and it has a sculpted version. And yeah, I'm going to flick through these images. Bob, you just chat away. You can let me know if you want me to go to a specific image or go back or forth or whatever. And folks, Jim, Phil, chat, feel free to chime in.
Yeah, it's one that took me by surprise. I like the fact that they seem to be going into different directions. I like how it's done. I almost prefer the photos than, well, I don't know. I saw, like we all do, I saw one shot of it in the flesh and the hair looked quite crazy. But then whether someone had done that or whether they're all going to be like that, I don't know. I quite like it. I'm not going to get it because I still love my Mando Luke. And for me, that's kind of such an iconic moment in the series that he will, I don't think any other Luke moment possibly outweighs that other than perhaps the torpedoes into the hole. So, yeah, I'm not getting it. I'm quite keen to see what you guys think of it. I think it looks quite good, but I'm not going down the arse route. So
I'm going to go last.
Yeah. You guys go for it. I think it looks really good. It's not what I'm going to get. But I like the fact that they're doing something different.
Yeah, okay. Tropical Phil or Jim, what do you want to give your thoughts there?
Without trying to sound too controversial, thanks, Jim. Cheers, mate.
Anytime.
I wasn't keen on the announcement. I'm not keen on the release. It's just probably because it's not the Luke that I associate with Star Wars. And if I'm honest, if I had pre-ordered it and then saw that hair coming out of the box, I would have been devastated. But I mean, if that's how he's represented in the comic books, then more power to you. But I'm not a fan. At all.
I think you've kind of summed up my thoughts, but I'll go last. Jim.
There's a few things they've done in this that I like. I really like the hairpiece in terms of the whole thing comes off. It's an issue I have with InArt sometimes, although InArt's rooted hair is a lot better. So I have this issue more with Artisan, but trying to remove a flap to get at the hair is normally quite a stressful thing. So I like that on this one, it's just you pop off the hairpiece, you can easily access it. For example, the Anakin was an easy one because you pop off the whole head, and you can access through the neck. The hair on the Anakin isn't great. I'm actually, just because I got it on the cheap, I'm tempted to try and futz around with it as much because it's not, it's not like I've ruined an £800 figure for myself then.
Is that the DX37, Jim?
Yeah, that one.
Which one did you win? Was it the
Dark
Japan
Side.
exclusive Artisan or the?
It has, I think so, because it has the that kind of, that frame thing with it.
Oh, that was the one.
Oh, yeah.
So it wasn't the one I gave away. It was the one they did for Japan, wasn't it?
I think so.
Is it branded
I don't know.
Darth Vader?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's the Japan one. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice. So Yeah, I managed to get that. But I think this looks good. These are some of the best blogger photos I think we've seen in a while.
This is the best I've seen the hair look.
Yeah. Oh, the hair looks good. To be fair, I've seen a few videos where the hair looks nice. No, it's rooted. That
This on the TV or the screen is actually rooted.
The one previous sculpted though.
I think that's rooted. That's rooted. And that's rooted. Yeah, it's just been very well styled, I think.
Yeah.
It was I saw the one from Collection Universe. Looks not great. His one was all poofy at the sides.
Yeah.
Like, I think it looks good overall.
When I saw these, I've yet to see an artisan, a rooted hair and an artisan that I thought was good. And when I saw these blogger photos, I was like, okay, maybe this is it. And this is a shorter haired artisan rooted figure. So I thought this is going to be harder to do, but they did a great job. But this is the only evidence of this artisan rooted hair figure looking good. MRC's looked terrible. And MRC, like, you know, I follow MRC, you know, because basically I watch his videos. You know the way you watch certain YouTubers for different reasons. Like, I would watch, say, Ryan Jeddah Patrol because I really like his production values, his posing, his photography, his videography. That's why I watch him. I'd watch Justin or MRC because they usually get the stuff quicker, and I just want to see what it looks like. That's basically it. And MRC, and that's other people, like, if I want a detailed breakdown on a figure that, you know, maybe someone out there is like more of an expert on, for example, a Predator or a Batman Begins, I'll go to Dean Knight, you know. So different YouTubers I watch for different reasons. MRC is just like, he gets them up really quickly. He's got a feral Predator. I want to see what it's like. That's why I'd watch him. So, you know, I like the guy, and he does a service for the community and stuff like that. But and this is no disrespect to him, his figure looks terrible. Like, the hair on it does not look like the hair here. And the hair... That's true. I've seen a photo pop up. Another one was shared with me, I think, a few days ago, and the same thing. It just looked really voluminous and not as futz to it like this. And then there was another one which was the same. So every other video or photo I've seen of the artisan Luke does not look like this one and doesn't look particularly good.
Have you seen the Figure Hideouts video?
No, I haven't. So I must check that out. Does it look as good as this?
Close. I wouldn't say as good as the bloggers, but it's pretty close. It looks quite nice, fresh out.
Because these are pretty damn good. Like,
that's the problem.
Yeah,
with,
because to be fair, it doesn't look like they slapped a load of product in there either. It looks quite natural, doesn't it? It's not.
The colors.
I'm all about that product, man. Coloration. I'm all about that product. The video I put up the weekend, which I think got like 97 views, was just the kind of photography showcase of that INART Joker 4-pack. Now, that being said, it's been out a long time, but that's my go-to example. Like, INART, it's not just that they have the edge on the rooted hair, they're just better at it. And there's a lot of product in their rooted hair, but when I take them out of the tubes, for the most part, they look exactly where they're supposed to look. I don't have to go messing with it. You still have the option to mess with it, but I prefer to take it out. I want it to look like real hair, but I don't want to have to style it like real hair. And I think that's one of the reasons they have the edge. So the product doesn't bother me if it controls the volume, but it's the volume of the artisan pieces that bothers me. It's just, they're just too big, you know. I thought the Joker was too big, the hair in it. I thought the Wanda was too big. Which other ones have done? Even the prototype images of the Bucky, the same, you know.
I think it's quite inconsistent with them. Yeah, but then I've got the artisan Anakin, and it's fine. It came out fine. I haven't touched it.
That's the biggest
issue. You're happy with it?
It's inconsistent.
Yeah. I
mean, inconsistent.
Yeah. So maybe that's the thing they got to work on. I know people will say like, "Oh, but you know, INART have the same." It's not the same. Like, there's QC issues in every company in the world every now and then. Even the Hot Toys Artisan Joker, there was QC issues reported, like the hair was loose or falling out or there was glue. But like, I'm not going to read too much into that unless every second person has that issue. That's you know what I mean. That'd be unfair
Totally.
because INART have their QC issues as well. But in terms of like, it's like a good movie. I always say like a masterpiece of movie, a 5-star or 4-star movie. It doesn't mean they're perfect. It just means that 90% plus parts of the movie are going the right direction. You know, the cinematography, the storyline, the script, the dialogue, the special effects, the score, the sound engineering, the editing, the action, whatever. It's going in the right direction. You have a few missteps every now and then, but most things go in the right direction. You're going to have a 4 or 5-star movies. If all those things are going the opposite direction, you're going to have a 1 or 2-star movie or a TV show. And with the Artisans, what I'm seeing is there's more things going in the wrong direction for me to get me excited about them. I've got that Black Widow on pre-order, but that'll be the litmus test for me, like, you know. So let's finish up on this. I have absolutely no interest in this, and like I don't think it's particularly exciting to me. This looks like when someone has a Darth Vader figure, pops off the helmet, pops on a Luke Skywalker head, and then puts a Dracula cape on it. It looks like some sort of a kit bash for the crack. You know, it doesn't do anything for me. I've heard the story is great. I just haven't read it. I'm ignorant to that. But I think even if I love the story, it's not something I'd pick up. That's my 2 cents in it anyway. I think the sculpted would be the way to go on this. And if you love the comic and have this is probably like Christmas, because when did you think this would ever going to be released? This is more of an outlier than Kylo or not Kylo, Revan or Starkiller, you know. So, any other thoughts on it, folks?
No, not really. I think you pretty much summed it up.
Yeah. Anyone get it? No.
No chance.
No chance. Okay, so we're back to the grid. Jim, what would you like to do or talk about?
Happy to do Snap as a game if you fancy.
Yeah, no problem.
Do you love Snap?
Okay, I'm glad we're here for the Snap. So, folks, if you're just joining us, if it's your first time watching, thanks to the 24. Yeah, we got work to do now. You take a few weeks off and everyone forgets. Thanks to 24 people watching live and anyone watching on the replay. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. Leave a comment if you're watching the replay. Join in the chat if you're watching there. Stop lurking. Say hello. And if you want to support the channel in a different way, feel free to become a channel member. No obligation, but greatly appreciated. So, the Snap. I'm going to show the panel 2 different images. Now, I want the chat to get involved in this. You have to choose which one gets snapped out of existence. This one is I went with summer blockbusters. So movies that will be released in summer 2025 that either have been released so far and or are due to be released. And the beauty of this is you don't have to have seen any of them, because you might be up against a movie you have seen and you liked and you were like, I want to hang on to that one because I'm going to watch that again. I'll get rid of the other one. I'll take the chance. A bird in the hand and all that. Or there could be 2 movies that you haven't seen that you go, you know what? I'd rather watch this one, so I'm going to snap the other one. All right, here we go. First one. Which one would you snap out of existence? Anyone, any order, folks. Anyone with strong feelings here?
I would snap Ballerina.
Oh, why? You don't need to explain yourself. I'm just looking for more. Go on.
I haven't seen either of these. Obviously not Fantastic Four. I'm just a lot more interested in Fantastic Four, hopefully reviving Marvel somewhat. John Wick, I like. They're fun films, but it's not on the same level for me as Marvel would be.
That's fair. Yeah, and I wasn't like my tone was probably inappropriate there. I was like, tell us, justify it. You don't have to justify it. I'm just looking for more. No, I'm just looking for more. I'm just looking to get inside your head and kind of work out what makes you tick, Jim. So yeah, good stuff. What about yourself, Tropical Phil? I like the way you've changed your name to Tropical Phil. Brilliant.
It's quite a tough one for me because I haven't seen either of them, but I'm intrigued by both. I'm probably a bigger fan of Marvel than the John Wick universe, but Fantastic Four hasn't really shown me anything that has piqued my interest, if you like. So I'm gonna snap Fantastic Four because Pedro Pascal's better as the Mandalorian and keep the ballerina.
Okay, good stuff. Keith Lee says, don't we usually have some background music? It's actually on. It's just very faint. It's particularly faint. Maybe I'll just... 1 second. Didn't realize you were such a diva, Keith Lee. But don't you worry. We'll get on that. So that's 10. Maybe I had it on a bit lower than normally. Let me know if that if you can hear it now, Keith. I'm only joking with you, man. Let me know if you can hear the background music. We don't want it too high, but I'm not sure if it's 10 or 12 I usually have, but it's on 12 there. We'll see. We also have anyone else new? Keith Lee says MRCs look like it has too much volume. I completely agree with you. The COD piece has been an absolute talking point and focal point of Luke, that Dark Empire Luke. Ricardo Coughlin. Hey there from Miami. Thanks very much for joining. Much appreciated. What's the weather like in Miami? I'd say it's hot now around this time of year. Keith Lee said F1 was worth a watch. Mark Mitchell, channel member, thank you. This guy's a diehard, absolute diehard 80s and 90s sci-fi fan. Terminator, Predator, Aliens, good stuff. What else do we have here? So intrigued by both. Snap the ballerina. What happened to women standing up for each other, Vida, and supporting each other? We be watching TV, and anytime Megan says anything even slightly negative about female on TV, that's what she gets. Oh yeah, I thought you were supposed to support each other and stand shoulder to shoulder, but you're tearing each other down. The ballerina is good. The ballerina is good, and And Vita is saying the music is loud enough. Herself and Keith Lee are going to go into a fight. I would not mess with Vita. Isn't that right, Jim?
Keith Lee, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Fantastic Four is a linchpin for the MCU. If this fails, MCU is in trouble. Ballerina, which I loved, is not essential. Wick in the long run. I'm going to let you say my opinions to the last on it, but thanks for the giving your opinion. Ballerina was just released on Digital A. Oh, is it? Right. Okay. Good stuff. Okay, so who hasn't gone? It was you, I believe, Bob, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to snap Fantastic Four. I've fairly recently watched John Wick 1, 2 and 3 and really enjoyed them. I still got to watch John Wick 4. They're more my sort of movie. And also I just noticed it looks like it's got Daryl from The Walking Dead in it.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
And he's literally playing Daryl from The Walking Dead.
He's playing Daryl, so
he looks
huge
the
fan.
exact same.
Huge fan.
The same. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
Norman.
Yeah.
Norman. That's him. Yeah, so I'm very excited to watch that. Fantastic Four. I think just the trailers have ruined it for me. I mean, even that poster just looks like a wet sitcom, doesn't it? It just doesn't.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah, it just looks super cheesy. I don't know.
They tried it with WandaVision, didn't they? And I mean, WandaVision was okay.
Yeah, and I never really took to that, to be honest. I think I prefer the more, I guess, what would you call it, gritty Marvel stuff, if there is such a thing. But yeah, so I'm very excited, having seen that poster now, to watch that as soon as possible. So I'm snapping Fantastic Four.
Yeah. So I've seen the ballerina, and I obviously haven't seen Fantastic Four.
Don't ruin it.
But the Fantastic Four, the ship sinks in the end. Just telling you. Fantastic Four, I have absolutely... I'm going to go see it because it'll be something to do. And it'll probably be one of those things that, I don't want to have to go see the next MCU movie after that and then having someone to explain or watch a breakdown of Fantastic Four. I'll do it because it's a trip to the cinema. I like going to the cinema. But my expectations are very low. Maybe that's a good way to go into it. I never gravitated towards these characters. I just don't find the Invisible Woman or the kind of the Rock guy, that style, even the Hulk characters. It doesn't, like, I know a lot of people lose their mind over Incredible Hulk and stuff like that, and I would definitely choose Incredible Hulk over this guy, but like it's not a character that I'm like, my mind is blown. It's not like a Wolverine or a Batman or whatever. Same as the Mr. Fantastic, the whole Stretch Armstrong thing just doesn't do it for me. So the Fantastic Four are never characters that I have any real interest in. I don't think I've ever even seen the other movies, so there's that. So it's not looking good for Fantastic Four, so I'm going to snap the Fantastic Four. I did go see the ballerina, and my expectations for that were low as well. I do like the John Wick franchise. I think the first movie is a fantastic movie. I think it's a 4-star movie. I think it's an excellent movie. The setup, like the context that they put him in to get him annoyed. I don't want to spoil it for anyone watching because it's the pacing in the movie is so well done. It sets it up where he's in a bad place. It shows you why, and progressively it gets worse. And then you find something more about him, and the setup is so well done, and it's just a straight up good action movie. Because I genuinely thought like that. I hadn't watched a straight up action movie in a long time because I more gravitate towards science fiction. I'm going to use the example of The Matrix. It has the perfect blend of action, eye candy, we'll say, and then makes you think brain candy. You know what I mean? It's a perfect blend. It's smart enough to go, this is confusing. I really have to pay attention to this. This is so interesting. This is cool. This is I'm really thinking about this. That it's good science fiction. It gets you to think. It's not straightforward. They're not like holding your hand through it. That you've got to put the pieces together yourself and stuff like that. But then it has the action as well, and I love that. Whereas a lot of straight up action movies, which I would have watched, say in the 80s and 90s, the Van Damme, the Schwarzenegger, the Stallone, all the kind of stuff, like your best of the best, or your Face Off or whatever. I thought that because they were in fashion back then, and some of them were great movies and all that. But like I thought it was like, I'm a bit older, and like I don't want just a straight action movie unless it's a bit more. I loved John Wick when I watched it. That being said, none of the John Wick movies are groundbreaking, Oscar-worthy. Not that the Oscars fucking matters, but you know what I mean. They're not like masterpieces. You know what I mean? They're not. I don't think I think the first one's a 4-star movie, and after that, I don't. They're still great and all that, but they're not. They're 3 and 4-star movies, and I like them all. I went into the ballerina going, expectations are low. It's a day out. Because a lot of time when they have this like female action characters, if they're not handled well, it does not work. Because you're looking at the screen going, a girl could never do that. I know what you're thinking. I'm going to get cancelled. Wait for it. Neither could a man. If you watch John Wick 1, 2, 3, 4, the action is so over the top ridiculous. It consciously, from the first movie, we know that these movies, they're not reality. They're not supposed to be taken seriously. But I like a movie that's kind of grounded in reality. Like if you look at Heat, it's an action movie that's grounded in reality. Even The Dark Knight, grounded in reality to an extent, but it's still not reality. But you watch the John Wick, they lean into it. This is completely ridiculous, even more so than a James Bond. So that didn't matter. Like a man could not do the stuff that John Wick does. It's so unrealistic, and that works so well. But the action and choreography in the ballerina, just as good as any John Wick movie. Anna de Armas does a fantastic job. The stunt team, the action choreography, the fight scenes, the gun work. I really, really enjoyed it. 100%. So if you're a John Wick fan, go see the ballerina with an open mind. I just thought, this could be disappointing. This might come off really, really good. Really enjoyed it. So anyway, that's my take on it. I'm going to snap Fantastic Four. And next one. Anyone?
I don't mind going first on this one.
28 years.
Fire away, Bob.
On this one.
No, I think, go on, Jim.
Oh, sorry, Bob.
No, you go on.
All right. I would snap 28 years. To be honest, I thought the 28 days was brilliant. I thought 28 weeks was okay. I'm quite hopeful for this Superman film. Again, I haven't seen either of these films. I'm hearing mixed reviews already about 28 years. Some people love it, some hate it. Issues with the second half is what I'm hearing. So that's interesting. I know a lot of people aren't that hyped for the Superman based off the trailers. I really like the tone and feel of it. It's quite light, it's quite hopeful. It looks like it could be a fun film, which is also the vibe I get from the Fantastic Four. So I guess I'm feeling a theme there. But yeah, I do have some concerns about Superman. I do worry they're going to be putting too many new characters into the first film. I think that was partly an issue with the DCEU when they went in kind of with Batman v Superman is the second kind of proper film of that franchise. So I do have concerns about that, but I think overall it has a lot of promise, and it could be the film that really kickstarts a really strong DC cinematic universe. Because although I love the last one, Henry Cavill, he's my man. I love his portrayal of Superman. I think those films as a whole were flawed. I don't think I'm alone in that. So
The
I'm
DCEU
hopeful for the future. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're flawed is an understatement. I agree with you.
It's a nice way of saying
what's so frustrating is you had like a guy who looks like every cell in his body were born to play the role.
Perfect for it. And I would say Ben Affleck as well would have made a really good Batman if we'd have had more options to kind of see that character. He's my I think
he's really fantastic. The only on-screen Batman that we have seen that physically looks like Batman. And I don't like Ben Affleck as Batman, but that's based on the strength of the movies. You know what I mean? Keaton, too small, no bulk really. Okay, Bale had the bulk in Batman Begin, but definitely leaned down in the next two. Pattinson, no bulk whatsoever, very, very lean. Adam West, moving on. You know what I mean? Like but the
grade A West.
That Batman versus Superman, that CrossFit Batman, he was an absolute unit. Like he looked the part. Like I want to see like an Alan Richardson from Reacher don the cowl, dye that guy's hair black and just like let him open people up, like, but yeah, so you're snapping 28 years, is it?
I am,
Jim?
and I'm actually quite surprised I'm saying that because I love zombie films, so but there we go.
It's not really a tentpole movie though. Superman here is the tentpole movie and probably is the blockbuster of the summer, but Bob?
I'm snapping Superman. I absolutely love zombie films. I'd rather watch a rubbish zombie film than a good superhero film, which it might be a bit weird, but
what's your favourite
George Romero. Do you know what? As corny as it probably is, I watch World War Z probably once a month just because it's
once a month. I don't even watch the Dark Knight trilogy once a month.
Yeah, it's always on.
I'm surprised. I thought you were going to say like Dawn of the Dead.
Is that like a comfort thing?
Dead,
it's like Jaws. Same with Jaws. Same with Shawshank Redemption. I probably watch those three every month.
Redemption, yeah. Shawshank Redemption, just a bloody hope.
28 Days Later was obviously amazing as well. I like the George Romero films because they're just fun. But yeah, I'm just big into zombie films. I haven't seen this yet. I want to try and get my wife. We've got some cinema vouchers, so I'm trying to get her to go to see this, but I'm trying to hide that it's a zombie film before we go, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can do that.
Fair enough. She might not appreciate that afterwards.
Yeah. What about tropical film?
She does like a good horror, but not so much zombie.
That's where she draws the line.
Yeah.
Tropical film. TP, you're up.
TP.
Yeah, that's another tough one for me because I like the 28 franchise. I was looking forward to this, but like Jim, I've heard mixed reviews, particularly with regard to the tail end of the movie. But apparently there is a sequel to do with this
trilogy, I think.
Bone Tower, isn't it, or whatever it is. And I'm like a child, so I'm still bitter that they got rid of Cavill as Superman. I think James Gunn could have started again with him. That's my opinion. In terms of which one would I go and see in the cinema, I'd more than likely go and watch Superman at the cinema, not 28. I'd wait for that to come on 4K.
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 4K. It's an echo.
He's definitely watching. He's going to drop a £20 super chat. We keep making fun of him. I'm going to get rich. 4K. 100%. Yeah. So you'd snap.
I'd snap 28 years later, regrettably.
And I am going to snap Superman. To be honest, Superman
Fitty.
never a character. You know, I like Superman. You know, he's interesting. He's the epitome of everything we're not. He can fly. He can X-ray vision. He's bulletproof. He's fast. He's strong. He's like that. You know. Yeah, that's cool. But I always found the character Batman far more interesting. And I remember when I was about, 12 or 13 or early to mid-teens anyway. And my friend was like, "Oh, Batman, shit, he has no powers." I was like, "You know, that's what I like about him. Like, he went away and he trained and he got the skills and he went away then and he was a millionaire. I get all that, you know, but he sourced his cape and he made the different tools and stuff like that, and he kind of learned how to be Batman. He wasn't gifted he wasn't born super. Do you know what I mean? He was the opposite nearly, you know, and Superman's cool and all, you know, but like I like that whole, he's kind of anti-hero as well. He's far from perfect and stuff like that, and some of the things he does are a bit questionable, and the whole thing is like him taking action. I suppose every superhero has that. Their actions can potentially create a bunch of other Jokers, but I always found it interesting. He was just a guy that had to go away and train and had to work at being a detective and, you know, design his suit and all his little gadgets. I always found that really, really interesting. He earned it more, I felt like, you know. But, you know, I enjoy, as much as, you know, the BVS and Man of Steel are not perfect movies or anything like that, I still enjoy Cavill's performance. I treat it like the X-Men. Those 3 first X-Men movies, the only reason I watch them is for Hugh Jackman's performance. If he wasn't in them, I'd never watch him again. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, sorry to interrupt, Shane. Just remember that Corn Sweat doesn't even know what a Hot Toys is, so I'm going to change my mind and stuff Superman. He can go and we'll keep 28 years later.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure if he sees this now, he's going to be really annoyed.
He was weirded out by that, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, if you look at him, like, he's 6 foot something, he's made of complete handsome. Like, I don't think he gives a shit about like any of this stuff really. Like, he's he doesn't care. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't. I think he was a bit. Maybe that video, which we will have a look at later on, give us an insight into his vanity. Maybe he knows he's handsome, and they didn't think the figure captured his handsome. Maybe that was it. Strike one for the fans there, Cornswell. I bet you his agent was like, "You completely messed that up, man. You gotta win the nerds back."
Definitely.
Yeah. So, and Cavill's watching that because, of course, he's a nerd and he plays the games. And he does Warhammer, and he's watching that going with his popcorn, going, "Oh, you amateur," you know. So we'll see how the movie is. I'm going to see both of these in the cinema. I recently rewatched 28 Days Later. It was funny because I bought them both. There was a 2-pack on just on DVD. Remember them? And I'd never opened it. I'd watched both of them, but I never actually opened them. And I found it recently. I was like, right, I'm going to watch these because for a while there, okay, now 28 Days and 28 weeks have been put on Netflix for a while there. It was very hard to find them on any sort of streaming service. You needed them on physical. Now they've added them. But 28 Days Later, look, it's a good movie. I don't think it's this masterpiece or anything like that. What I like about it is it looks like a low-budget indie movie, and it was a very simple survival story, and I quite liked it. And of course, look, Cillian Murphy, like, you know, he's I think that's the first movie I've ever seen him in, so I really like the first one. I remember not thinking much of the second one, but I will rewatch it. But I am keen to see what happens in this one, so I'd snap Superman here, to be honest. I think, but I've heard mixed reviews. The last one. Just for fun. Anyone want to go first on this one?
Nikki can go.
I'm gonna snap, and Jurassic Park's one of my favorite films ever. So just like bear that in mind. I'm gonna snap Jurassic World. I saw the trailer for the Naked Gun the other day. It just popped up on social media randomly, and I didn't know what it was. And the first part of that trailer, I'm like, this is like a new Taken. Liam Neeson saying some like serious stuff. He sounds like a total badass, right? And then it goes into the absolute carnage and kind of slapstick, silly comedy that this film's obviously going to be. And I loved how they presented that. I thought that was fantastic. I think he's going to lend himself quite well in a comedy. I think it's going to be quite a good film. I'm actually really excited for this. And this came out of left field for me. I completely forgot this film was happening. I haven't watched the original, so I'm gonna have to do that. That needs to be remedied. But that film looked really good, so I'm gonna snap Jurassic World, and I'm gonna keep Naked Gun.
Man, I'm gonna do the same. I'll be honest. Like a lot of the time when these movies become franchises, that's it. They're dead. They're absolutely dead. We talk about like I associate franchise with McDonald's and Subway and Burger King, like just basically you're a company dotted all over the place. As soon as you hear franchise, a lot of the time it's just like this is just a business thing, and now the art is gone from it. Like Terminator 2, I'm going to say there's two Terminator movies, none else exists. It's now the Terminator franchise. Like there hasn't been a good movie since 1991 with T2. It's dead. But a lot of my favorite movies start off with a fantastic movie for one, maybe two, and then fall off. The Matrix, The Alien, RoboCop, Terminator. And Jurassic Park kind of falls into that, to be honest. Like the first one's a groundbreaking masterpiece, and you could say that The Matrix was a groundbreaking masterpiece, then fell off. The Alien movies were groundbreaking for the time. Terminator 1 and 2, definitely 2 was groundbreaking for the time. Jurassic Park was. I remember the second one being good. And then after that, I'm like, this is just the same crap over and over again. It's just, there's nothing new here. There's nothing fresh. There's nothing interesting. It's just like, it's just the dinosaurs. Where the first one had a really good story, I felt like. It was a simple story, but it was interesting and it was something new. And of course, what they produced. Interestingly, fact of the day, when making the sounds for the velociraptors, which I'm sure we all know velociraptors weren't actually that tall in real life. I think they were more the size of chickens as from fossils. I know we say that we all know, I know that dinosaurs are extinct 65 million years ago, but from science, and they're small things like chickens. I don't know if they have feathers. Did they have feathers?
Apparently, there's more scientific evidence now showing that a lot of dinosaurs had probably feathers, including the T-Rex as well.
Instead of scales.
So like T-Rex, I think it's a mixture of both. Like he probably had a bit of both. Like he wouldn't have had full coverage in feathers, but like certain areas.
Spielberg, you lying bastard. So, but like, and every scientist up to now, but the sounds, which obviously they had no idea whatever about like their size, that from fossil records or whatever, they'd have some sort of an idea, but the sounds they improvised with, like I think they had like horses breathing for like the exhales. You know when the velociraptors exhales in the window when it fogs up, that was like horses exhaling.
Yeah.
But their chirp when they're communicating with each other. Have you heard this fact before? The sound of tortoises having sex. That's what the sound was. You know that bark, that like that sound. Yeah, the chirp. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I heard that recently. I didn't fact check it, but
I wonder who recorded those.
I want it to be true. Yeah, listen. Some people's
Someone with
jobs.
some patience.
Yeah,
anything for the craft.
a lot of patience. Maybe they got it from like B-roll from a David Attenborough type thing or whatever. But look, I'm gonna get rid of Jurassic World because I've seen them all. I've seen them all. But it just no. And I'm not particularly interested in the Naked Gun either. But if you remember, Liam Neeson was in a Ricky Gervais show called Life's Too Short. I believe it was written by Ricky Gervais. It starred Warwick Davis. I think he was like an agent, like a talent agent. And
yeah, that's right.
He represented Liam Neeson in an episode, you know. And Liam Neeson comes to him and he's really intense. And he's like, I want to do comedy. Yeah. I'm funny. And Warwick is like, well, you not really. You've just done Taken. You're very intense, Liam. You're an action star. You're kind of like the wisdom guy, the Qui-Gon Jinn, the Ra's al Ghul, the Taken. You're an action star. No, I can do comedy. But he's really serious, and it's funny because it's not funny. So I want to see, can he do comedy? You know what I mean? I know he was acting as a parody version of himself, but I'm interested to see, can Liam Neeson do comedy? So I'm going to snap Jurassic World. Phil.
I mean, I was a massive fan of the originals, and I think it was Leslie Nielsen, I think, played the original.
Yeah.
And obviously, times have changed since their release, and I would struggle don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they can't make me laugh anymore, because back then that's what used to make me laugh, and whatever this is isn't going to make me laugh. But I just don't know.
Do you
how
think
the
you've
context-
matured that much? Because I don't think you have, Phil.
A little, a little.
I know what you mean.
But
I know what you mean.
yeah, can they
Man of the world.
transition from what made me laugh in the I think it was 80s, late 80s maybe, compared to me, it's not going to be the same Naked Gun. Whereas, I mean, Jurassic World, I'm not overly bothered by it, but Scarlett Johansson's in it and she's fit, so yeah, snap.
That's an
Naked
understatement.
Gun and-
You think he's mature, and then he says something like that.
No.
He goes and
That's not
throws it all away.
that's not immaturity though. That's just
that's
like
the heat.
no. That's just
joking.
like as sure as the sky is blue. That's just a fact. I think that's science. That's science. She's a genetic
Good call.
miracle, is
Yeah.
what
Good
she
call.
is. She's a
Yeah.
genetic
Good call.
miracle, man.
Yes.
No, that's
She-
fair game. That's fair game.
She was built by Hammond. Yeah, so
Hammond. Oh yeah, I get it. Yeah,
She's
yeah.
one of
very
the
good, very good.
experiments. Yeah.
Yeah.
so
very
yeah,
good.
it's snap the Naked Gun for me and keep Jurassic World. But I hope I'm
Good
wrong.
stuff.
I hope the Naked Gun is really good.
I hope all these movies are really good. Like, but
We haven't had a
we
good
live in
comedy
real
in
world.
a long time. It feels.
Ryan's saying, snap 28 years later. Can't wait for Superman. 28 years was not the movie that it was advertised in the trailers. Man, so you've seen it. Because
Yeah.
I thought the trailer was the most intriguing trailer for all the summer blockbusters. That's interesting, man. Nicholas Holt seemed well impressed. Oh, by the
figure.
Hot Toys.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
funny. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Keep Superman has got Christopher Reeve's son in it. Interesting. I did not realize that.
Yeah, isn't he a newsreader or something?
Right.
I think.
JB Velo. Velo, I think, is French for bicycle. I think,
Bicycle.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. So JB Bicycle. 28 weeks later was great. So we got mixed. Rachel Brosnahan was like, well, listen, we're all excited about Rachel Brosnahan as well. If you've seen Marvelous Miss Maisel, she, like, that girl can act, and her delivery in that, she plays a comedian. Anyone seen it? Marvelous Miss Maisel?
No, I haven't actually.
Yeah, well, look, she's got the acting chops. She's actually really, really funny. I know the script was written for her, but her delivery is really good. And yeah, she's in another. She's like a ScarJo. She's another beautiful actress. Gonna watch JW in a couple of days. Gonna watch Jurassic World in a couple of days. I'm excited to see what Gareth Edwards comes up with. Leave the damn dinosaurs alone. The Matrix trilogy was dope. This is where I disagree. The first one's a masterpiece.
Quadrilogy.
The second, oh god,
There's 4
the
films.
second one, I think, gets it harshly critiqued. I think the second one was still solid enough, but I think it all went downhill. The third one, first one's a masterpiece though. Until I hear from these reviews, it's a toss-up for me. Naked Gun seems lighter, so snapped. Like the dark stuff, man. Okay, or Slighter. I'm not sure. The alpha zombie needed a pair of underwear. I don't know. All right, so there must be like
There's a lot of nude zombies.
right. Okay. I got you. That makes sense. Make more sense when I watch the movie. Has everyone gone on this?
No, I've got.
Go.
I'm going to snap Naked Gun. I mean, if I went into the cinema, you've got these posters on each side, and one of them's got Scarlett Johansson, a dinosaur eating some people, and the other one's got Liam Neeson's crotch. I'm always going to go left.
I wasn't sure what direction you were going in with that, but I'm glad you said crotch. Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of the originals, Frank Drebin, and the thing is, I think this is where Phil was kind of going. That was the day when someone could just look up, someone could go up a ladder, someone holding the ladder could look up and say "nice beaver," and everyone could laugh. No, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
In today's age, if people would even think that was at all funny.
Thanks, Bob. That's exactly the
but
point I was trying to get across.
But is that though? But is that though? Okay. Do you think that's cancel culture, or do you think that I see. The thing is, I think there's far more messed up stuff.
There is.
I think the jokes
bizarrely.
have got more messed up. Like,
to
as
a
in,
certain, yeah, but
it's got darker.
yeah,
I think
It-
innuendo's gone out the window, hasn't it?
yeah.
Really, unless you're on This Morning, you know you can't get away with innuendo these days, or loose
So
women.
comedians get away with a lot more than films do. I mean, some of the stuff like Jimmy Carr comes out with, if that
Yeah.
was
Oh,
in,
absolutely.
like a mainstream film,
But I think that's even
slated.
more recent. I think there was a gap there where everyone sort of was standoffish. I think probably apart from like Ricky Gervais, maybe.
Ricky Gervais just popped into my mind because he's one of my heroes.
He's
And
brilliant.
he's so clever. He walks
Yeah.
right up to that line, shows you how the line is kind of bullshit, and then
Yeah.
cleverly steps back and kind of going, right, argue with me. But you can't, because it's like, I'm not that smart. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
sorry, go on.
Yeah, sorry, Jim.
But maybe,
No,
is it
I'm-
just that
that's-
those jokes have been made already, so you need something new?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a film
Could be that.
recently that's even used innuendo. I mean, like Jim said, what comedies have we had lately?
They're
The
still
last
there.
good comedy I watched was 40-Year-Old Virgin. And how old's that?
Oh,
Probably 40 years
yeah.
old. No, it's
Especially
about
cinema
15.
releases, you don't get many.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the last film I found funny. But maybe
That
that's
was a
just
good.
me.
That was a good movie.
He
And
had a
very
great
apt
figure
for this
collection as
show.
well in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect for this show. You should watch along.
He
Yeah,
did, didn't he?
yeah, he did.
Because
That was
he
the
moved it
whole
all
thing,
out
like,
when the girl visited, didn't he?
he sold out, man.
Yes.
I feel like Humor and the Naked Gun will be too American and other audience won't get it. The thing is, though, I find like a lot of those English TV shows, like the Carry On and was that a thing? Carry Fast Show? Fast Show
Fast
would never
Show.
be put on
Life of
TV
Brian.
today.
Holy Grail.
Little Britain
Anything Monty
would
Python,
never.
really. Little Britain. Ah, that was a class. That was great.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows that like, unfortunately, wouldn't get aired today.
I hear you're a racist now, father. What?
That is my
That
favorite
was good.
comedy ever,
Yes.
ever. And I think it's funny, like when if you watch that, and even that particular episode, do you know what he did? You know, to if you remember the build up to that, it was of course it was inappropriate. He thought he was in the privacy of his own home. He wasn't going around spieling it, but then he was seen doing it and had to go and explain that he wasn't a racist to someone, which is never ever a good way to try and explain it away. But the whole thing, the humorous it was more like making fun of people that would say inappropriate things, but then say, "Oh, I'm not a racist," you know. But also at the same time, sometimes people make jokes. Do you know what I mean? They are inappropriate, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're a racist. Like, but yeah, we're going to be cancelled. This is our last show.
Yeah, we better leave that there, haven't we?
You can't use logic anymore. You're not allowed to use logic. Do you know? It's like the pick a side nonsense. Okay, so that was good. We got through the snap. That was good. And we're gonna go back and what do you want to talk about? Who hasn't gone yet? Who
Phil?
hasn't chosen?
Phil.
We'll leave MJ. Should we go for the Hono Iron Man?
Yeah, cool. I'll be back to you in 2 seconds. I just want to fill myself another beer, but I'll put on one of the slides here. So it's the Hono Iron Man. I actually think this is pretty cool. Do we have blogger? We don't have blogger images for this, do we?
No, I've only seen,
I don't think
seen
we
the
do.
video, the unboxing video. That's the only thing I've. Unless
What
nobody
I'll do
orders
is
it.
See if I freeze it on a decent image here. There we go. Okay, I'll be back to you in 2 minutes. Just chat away there, folks. If you want to just check out that comment there that some lad put on it, it's really important. Back in.
Comment or comment.
Is that the
I don't know,
Christopher
that's
one,
what I'm
or is it in our own group? Probably the one on the screen, is it?
Ah, alright, okay. Please announce. And no brand.
no idea.
Alright, Shane. It's Shane's comment.
Oh, it's Shane's comment. I bet he does that every Hot Toys post, doesn't he?
And 100%. I've got them all screenshotted.
Andor, branded Cassian Andor. Oh, it's like every Hot Toys announcement, everyone's like, "Great, but where's this?" And you're like, "What about this announcement?" You know, come on.
I think it looks pretty cool, this figure, though, doesn't it?
Always cheeky.
Yeah, I mean, if
The
I'm not
magnets is decent.
a massive
The He-Man
comic book
legs.
fan. He has indeed, yeah. But I think as a comic book
impressive.
fan, I'm making assumptions here, but I would assume you'd be quite happy with this. I can't quite remember what the price is with it, but I think it's pretty good. It almost looks are they like silicone, the legs and the arms, or is it?
I think they
it
are.
all
They look
plastic?
seamless.
Yeah, 'cause that-
from what I can see.
Yeah, and the left leg's bent more than the right one, isn't it? So it's because at first I thought it was just solid, but it's clearly
Could be
not.
plastic
Unless they
coated.
are like that. They're not shaped
But I
like
mean,
that. Can you move
to
the
be
legs? Can you bend the knees? I don't know.
Yeah, I think
you
so.
can.
I think
It's
yeah,
pose. It's
Yeah.
pretty posable. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks pretty good then, doesn't it?
I know. You got the LED light for the chest as well. Is that one for the hand, or has that just been photoshopped?
I think the hands have him as well.
They
I
have-
could be wrong. His head,
But again,
his
they're pretty cool.
face doesn't light up, does it? Just I think chest and hands.
I mean, I'm probably going to see if these prices fall, because I think the Hono Wolverine is fantastic, and I can't really see me ever getting rid of that. And the quality, to be fair, for what you pay in comparison to a Hot Toy is really good. And
That's interesting, actually. Ricardo has just said they are silicone. Those.
They
So
are.
in the chat, yeah.
I would have thought so. They do a lot. Of that.
Depending on price, I don't. Do you know how much this one is, Phil?
I can't remember.
I mean, they were
the
supposed to be
pricing on it.
cheap,
Isn't it
weren't they?
early
But I know
200s?
they.
I feel like it's early, like
See, that's-
or like close to
that's
200.
too much,
I don't
innit?
think it's that expensive.
See,
But for an
I
Iron
don't think it's
Man,
too
yeah,
much
that's-
for
that's
this
pretty
range.
good. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, but that's.
Without
I get like a
functions.
die-cast Iron Man is going to cost money, but I still think for
Is
this
he
range,
plastic? Yeah, he is.
it's just, to me, it seems too steep. I thought all these figures should be under 200, personally.
I agree with you. Because they're entry level.
I mean,
right?
they said that's entry level. You know.
Yeah. I think you're right on that. It is nice
Toys,
though.
Toys
I
by an
liked the
Toys
original.
Yeah.
Toys by an
Yeah.
agent are doing him for 155. Obviously, the shipping on top.
Wow. Where did I
Right.
get my price from?
So maybe what,
That's
40,
impressive.
40 shipping?
Hit and miss.
That's
Sometimes it's
similar
about
to the Wolverine.
60. But yeah, they're
Oh,
doing
okay.
Yeah, that's good.
was-
That's good.
1,600 Hong Kong dollars, now down to 1,550 Hong Kong
I wonder
dollars,
if I'm
which is
thinking of US dollars when I was thinking of price.
maybe, yeah.
That might be it because
That's-
that'll be
I might-
a fair bit more.
That's
I
pretty
might
good.
check them out on Toys Assemble because their postage is like 40 quid, isn't it, for one figure?
And
Yeah,
their prices are good. From what
Yeah,
I've seen,
and
I haven't
I've-
used
yeah,
them, but
I know other people are available out there, but I'm quite a fan at the moment.
I may put him on a pay in 3 PayPal.
paying
Yeah.
free.
PayPal, yeah. Break it down
See
over
if
3.
it's- oh, my-
Oh,
Yeah, some prices there in the chat as well.
Oh, Big Bad Toy
255.
Store, 229 US.
Yeah, see, that's what I think I was
Is that-
talking about, the dollars.
Big Bad Toy Store.
Ah,
Ricardo,
is
I
that
think
US
that's
side, is
included
it?
in Yeah. You can order from them.
Okay.
I've ordered from them, but
Okay.
obviously you run the risk of import charges.
Import charges. Yeah. I like the it's not really a sculpt, is it? The face. I just think it just looks cool. If a figure was cool, then this is it.
Just Mike Fair, like it's £155 ish, so it's 1,550 Hong Kong dollars. So I'm not sure what that equates to.
Oh
in,
yeah, it's about, that's
American
about it then,
dollars.
isn't it?
Plus obviously a delivery on top with Toys by an Agent, but
Jim, are you on mute at the moment? Peter's saying she can't hear you.
yeah, bit of shouting. Here.
Yeah, I'm getting a few at that. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hear me fine.
Only now,
Nice.
though.
I wonder if it's an internet thing, to be honest, because my mic's turned up as far as it'll go, so I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
could be.
Interesting.
Could be.
Interesting.
So
Let me
Phil,
see
what
if I
other
can sort it out.
Hono Hono figures have you got?
I've only got the Wolverine, but
Right. Okay.
the blue suit Wolverine. I didn't opt for the brown because I'm not a massive comic book fan.
Yeah.
It didn't really appeal to me. I'm not overly keen on it, but I mean, I suppose if you've read his storylines throughout the comics, he seems to be quite popular in that brown suit, whereas I only associate him as blue and yellow. So,
And in terms of I've not actually seen a Hono in hand, but I just wondered, in terms of holding a Hono figure against, say, a Hot Toy equivalent, what would you say was the main sort of differences?
it's weighty for a start. It's really heavy, surprisingly.
The Hono one is.
Yeah.
Okay. Surprise.
The silicone arms, excellent, really well made. All these sort of the detail is in the muscles. There's marks where he's obviously going to have sort of hair on his arms and what have you. The only, and it's not even a disappointment really, is that the claws can drop out. But I mean, you can either leave that as is or just a little bit of glue, stick them in there. They're fine. Really posable.
Okay.
I mean, check out. What's his name? Patrick Tamio, is it? I can't think of his Instagram handle. But when it released, some of the poses he pulled with it were phenomenal.
Oh, what, Zord?
That's
you mean Zord?
Yeah. Zord, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Unbelievable. Check him out.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
I'm trying to think what else did they announce the.
There was some Star Wars figures, wasn't there?
Yeah,
you're playing a blinder, guys. Thanks very much.
Here to help.
I agree. I could still hear everything you're saying, so I agree with pretty much everything Bob said. They're too expensive for what they are. It was marketed as the whatchamacallit, the I don't know, like a
entry
level scale figures, which are entry level. Were their exact words.
Yeah.
The Hono was 165, the Hono Wolverine, and then this is 215.
Is that dollars, Shane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting a bit of an echo there from someone. I'm not sure why.
I reckon that's probably me.
The internet okay, or is it acting up?
I don't know. If chat can let me know if they can hear me, because you guys apparently can hear me fine, but
Yeah.
I've been informed by Vista that nobody else can hear me very well on the actual through YouTube, so I'm not sure. As far as I can tell, volume's on.
I'll play this video here while you have a look, and people will tell you if they can hear you or not. Then, if they could hear you up to then, I'll play this video. I'm just gonna mute it. Play it from here. I do say I know we get a lot of Iron Man figures, but I think this is more than just another Iron Man figure, because this looks like it did in the pages of the comic, and I know when I think Iron Man's been around since the 1940s or something like that. So I do think that's pretty cool, even though it's a bit overpriced.
I think it's cool.
Yeah. Like, some figures I'd be like, if someone gifted to me, I'd be like, why'd you buy me that? But this one here, I wouldn't be. I'd be kind of going, okay, I can work with this, because it's like a nod to the comic. Same way as like the Dark Knight Returns comic book.
I think you'd have to display it. I think you'd have to display it away from your Hot Toys, wouldn't you?
I don't really have that issue if I'm doing one figure per cube. It's just the question is it going
No, I see. Yeah.
You know, so. But I get what you're saying. If it probably wouldn't work in an Avengers display. I've heard people say that about the Hono Wolverine not fitting into their other live action style.
Yeah, he doesn't, because he does look comic booky, if you like, because of the bright colors and like a lot of the Avengers stuff is quite toned down. Even though in the comics they weren't, Captain America was bright blue and what have you. The Hono Wolverine is bright blue and bright yellow. Even the Hugh Jackman Wolverine, when we eventually get it, is, from what I recall, it's not bright yellow and a vibrant blue. It is muted a little, isn't it?
That is my most anticipated figure. Although I got news though, my Paul has officially shipped just Myself and Jim were on Paul Watch. We both ordered the INART Paul Atreides directly from INART because they were so adamant and delighted that it was their first worldwide licensed figure that you could order from them and not have to get it through a Hong Kong reseller or whatever. Did you go rooted as well, Jim?
Yeah, I went rooted with mine.
You sound really good now. You sound really clear, crisp, and there's no echo. So
good.
yeah,
I'm
as
glad for
Vita
that.
says, yeah, 100%. Yeah, go on.
You are much. Oh, yeah. Happy days. Yeah, no, I'm still waiting on my dispatch notice, but I feel like yours, you got like your initial email 2 weeks, I think, before I did. So I think I might be like 2 weeks behind you.
I got
no,
mine
I
on
wait to get that in.
I got 2 emails on I think the 10th of June, and it said, one of them said we're delighted to let you know that your figure's ready to ship. The second one was basically pay for it now. And when I paid for it, I got a message saying, by the way, we're working hard to get your figure look as good as it possibly can look. So after you've paid, it'll take 10 to 15 days, working days, to ship. So it was
I
like
missed that.
the first email, it's ready, you owe this much money. Then when I paid, a confirmation email was like, we're working really hard to get it ready. That's fucking bullshit.
That's a bit naughty, isn't
That's
it?
fucking bullshit.
That
Now
is
look,
cheeky.
if you're in this game, you earn enough money that you have some discretionary income. Some. And like, to be fair, you know, I'm a big practicer, advocate of expressing gratitude. You know, I have a roof over my head, clothes, a good job, you know, good habits, good friends and all that. But, you know, I work hard like yourselves. It's a really simple principle thing. I paid for it. You told me it was ready to ship. I paid for it and then it didn't ship. It's bullshit, you know? So
Yeah, it is.
the only sort of reaction I got to them, because to log in to Queen Studios, you go Queen Studios INART, you log in, you type in your email, they send you a code, you put the code in and then you log in, and then you can send your customer services email and you don't hear from them for a few days and it's like, oh yeah, it's coming. There's nothing helpful there. It almost seems like you're talking to a bot. The only response I got was when I tagged them, just explained the story. It has shipped now, finally. So yours hasn't shipped yet, no?
No, unfortunately not. I'm
Yeah.
waiting for it. I'm eager to get that in. It's one of the nicest looking figures I think that's come out this year, and it's the one
Well,
that's
it
taken the
actually
longest
came
to
out
get to
late
us.
last year because it tipped Hot Toys Bane
it?
in my list, my top best figures released in 2025.
Wow.
Bane got moved from first to like third because in that last week before New Year's Eve last year, they announced or released the INART, it's a Joker 4-pack and Paul, and I was like, okay, these are actually, Paul was stunning. Like, I just couldn't.
See, that's just depressing though.
Yeah. Look, hopefully you'll get your email, you'll get it in a few weeks and I'll be the same, and hopefully when it arrives it'll have the 2 legs the same length, because I know Ben Thomas's one leg was longer than the other. How does that even happen? I don't know.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, mental. But we're getting sidetracked. What no one's getting the Hono Iron Man. Would it be right?
No,
Yeah.
No.
It's pretty cool though. You know, comic
It
book
is.
fans
Looks
dream.
good though.
it is.
Nice nod. I think it's an Iron Man I pick before a lot of other Iron Mans. So, yep. All right. So, you know what? We're going to go through the basics here. Well, you know, we'll do one more topic, and then I'll go through some of the basic stuff. But anyone? I'm going to pick. What did you get new this week, guys? Anything at all?
In the last couple of weeks, I
In the
suppose,
last
because
month.
we've been away.
In the last
Yeah.
month, yeah.
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 I've oh, go on, Phil.
Artisan Anakin. Thanks, Bob.
Yours looks really good,
Um,
doesn't it?
hold
The
it
hair
up
does look really good.
It looks
And
better than my hair.
I've done.
Your actual hair on you now, Jim, you look great. Or you mean your
Oh.
Anakin's hair?
Yeah, you got your own artisan hair there, Jim.
Yeah. That,
Freshly cut.
yeah, because the first thing I'm noticing there, it's organized. It doesn't have massive Sideshow Bob volume.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. There is a
that's
lot
my
of
one.
There is a
You
lot
can
of product
see.
in there. Though.
1 second, Jim.
Jim's looks good too.
It's like
I
kind
can
of
see what you
poofy.
mean though, Jim. His hair, there's less
It's got a bit more
it's more
volume.
organized. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at him.
Yeah. Oh, shucks. It's just like to the
Um,
sides, like on my one. It's just
Because
like,
you're worth it, Jim.
Yeah.
damn right I am.
I've had the invoice and tracking for the 1/12 Dark Knight Returns in our Batman. That's on
Oh,
snail
nice.
mail at the moment. It just seems to be
Dark
taking
Knight
forever.
Rises, you mean?
Dark Knight Rises, yeah, sorry.
Fuck's sake.
Sorry, mate.
Fat check.
Jesus. Jesus.
Catch your cell phone.
I've got it on 4K. So I'm a real fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4K. Do you know they're actually
4K?
doing
That's
a... You know the way Ian, in our chat, showed us that box set that he got, Ian, he's not here at the moment. He's going to show us next week, but he got the 4K, just the Sean Connery Bonds on 4K, but they're steel books, and they're within a steel case. It's like, each of them are steel books, and then they're in a steel case as well. They're actually releasing a Dark Knight version of that within the next year.
Cool.
So there'll be
wow.
3 steel books, and they're going to be in a steel case as well with extra features and stuff like that. Because that looks,
That'd be
I
heavy.
really like that, what Ian showed us there. But
Yeah, nice.
sorry, you're waiting for the Dark Knight Rises in art 12 scale, is it? 12 scale?
It's 1/12, yeah, which apparently posability wise is fantastic because you're obviously not as scared of damaging, breaking any sort of cloth work on there. And my Han Solo, I'm hoping will be here this week, but I haven't had to ship it. I've paid it. I've been told it's been shipped, but I haven't had the tracking for it yet. So, but outside of that, yes, it's
Brilliant.
everyone else has been really quiet. Thankfully.
Anyone order from Sideshow? I presume Mike Fayella has ordered from Sideshow and getting Ahsoka the White. I heard people saying that they had ordered from Sideshow, or they'd ordered Ahsoka the White from Sideshow, but Tumbleweed, nothing.
Sideshow's dispatch seems just so random and kind of sporadic at the moment, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I don't think anyone can help you here. I mean, we can't really. No one here orders from Sideshow. Would that be right?
No, Sideshow's a bad choice for
No.
us.
Yeah, it's just not. It just doesn't work for us with the.
No.
We've had tariffs for years. We've been going on about it for years. Well, at least I have. Anybody call them customs. Doesn't matter whether you call them import charges, customs, tariffs, fees. It's extra money when you import something. And we've been talking about it for years, but the Americans only cared when it affected them. Isn't that right? But now who's overseas now, Yankee Doodles? Yeah, I'm not doing much for my subscriber base here. I'd say we've got 7 people watching now. Everyone's like, that Irish guy's too smug. It's like, no, well, you have to deal with tariffs now, and we've had to deal with them for a long time. We do appreciate the American audience. Speaking of the American audience, I think we have a local celebrity here. We got Steve. What's up, all? What's up, Steve? Thanks very much for... Are you playing hooky?
Love Steve.
Watching us? Yeah, we're going to celebrate with Ace.
I have exorcised the demons.
Just most of my clips are negative. It's dark side, so right. But that's I need to work on my celebratory clips. It's more positive. So thanks very much, Steve, for being here. I do appreciate it. And a channel member as well. Thank you, sir. And I'm a channel member of Figures and Fandom as well. Thank you very much. I'm gonna get 1 second to move this, and I will not buy anything from Fantastic Woke. Okay. Without looking it up, put the definition for woke in the chat. I fucking dare you. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. And if it's longer than 30 seconds, I know you've Googled it. Come on, CM. No pressure, no pressure, no pressure. Come on, call it out. Call it out. What does woke mean? What does it really mean? Come on, CM. Counting down here. You got about 15 seconds left. You can't do it, can you? Come on, we're relying on you. No pressure, man. You put in the troll comment. Come on, come on. 10 seconds. Come on. 9. You can cut and paste. Cut and paste. Come on.
Shut.
And fuck off. You're banned. Bye bye. Okay, so look, you can't win them all. Woke actually means alert to social injustice, in particular racism. That's what it actually means. It has been hijacked recently from anytime there's a female character, anytime there's a trans character, anytime there's a character of a different ethnicity, whatever, it's been hijacked. Now look, whatever, I know Disney, they're not doing themselves any favors really with their writing, but that is the actual definition, is alert to social injustice, in particular racism. And I get what that person was probably coming from, a point of it's woke, it has a female character, it's woke in this. Look, I'm not going to get into that. It's like good writing is good writing, bad writing is bad writing. And to be honest, a lot of the MCU lately, some pretty bad bloody writing. Okay, so guys, what do you want to talk about?
MJ?
New stuff.
We'll go
New
MJ.
stuff.
We'll go MJ.
Yeah,
do you
happy with MJ.
Oh, hang
Are
on.
you?
Bob, sorry, did you not
Sorry, I
say
think
anything for the new
sorry,
for the
sorry.
new bit?
No, so I got Shin, so I was very excited about getting Shin. She's sort of up there.
Two of those.
Uh,
Sorry, that was
got two. Oh, I see what you did there.
Sorry, that was terrible.
Bloody artisan boy. I got the Mud Trooper from Solo, which is a really cool figure, with all the gear on. And I picked up.
You know
a
that
Tank
one everyone
Commander,
wanted a few years ago. Everyone wanted.
Tank Commander. Yes, it's quite cheap now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got the Tank Commander because I think, again, he's a really good figure. I like these helmets, the sort of transport trooper, Tank Commander type helmet. It's just
Vitz is
kind of
really
matte
eager to
colours as
get
well.
a trooper back in the collection.
Here's an interesting fact, because none of you have probably watched Ironheart, but the guy who plays Solo,
I did not.
can't quite remember his name, is actually in Ironheart.
Interesting. I
I heard
almost
that.
watched that today.
that.
I have actually heard some good reviews on Ironheart.
Have you?
Yeah,
I definitely
I've
have
heard.
not. Book one.
I've heard the second episode. The second episode was good. Apparently. So I'm still interested to check it out. To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
I think it could be an interesting watch. But we'll see. It's a character I know nothing about as well. Like beyond what we've seen. What was she? Was she in Wakanda?
Yeah,
The last
She was, yeah.
Black Panther film.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's
She
been a
was,
minute
yeah.
since that came out. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But 3 episodes. So
Is there only how many episodes supposed to be in the season, or have they dropped it all yet?
I
Or
think there's
I'm not
6,
sure.
isn't it? I think it's 3 last week, 3 this week, and as far as I'm aware, that's it.
So it's a short
can't-
one. Wow.
I could be wrong, but I know there were rumors that they were just trying to drop it all before Fantastic Four and sort of.
I wonder if this is the new thing, just dropping 3 episodes at a time now. Worked for Andor.
what I
Andor
heard was
story-wise, it worked.
Andor's different though, because it was set up as in
Yeah.
three episode, like in
Trilogies,
4
wasn't it?
3-episode story arcs, and it's slower
Yeah.
as well. It kind of needed to be like that. Whereas the with this, from what I'm hearing, is that was ready to go in 2022. I haven't watched it, so I don't know. Like, I haven't watched
Yeah.
Madam Web. I suspect it's an awful movie. I haven't watched. What's the one with Jared Leto, the Dracula looking fella?
Morbius.
Haven't watched that. Not going to. I suspect it's not good. I expect it's going to be a waste of my time. But I can't comment. I can't say definitively if Madam Web is good or bad. I haven't seen it.
Was not
I
good.
can't. Yeah, I'd imagine it's not. I'd imagine. I can't say if Ironheart is good or bad. I haven't watched it. I imagine it's not. But based on past performance, I've watched Loki season 1 and 2. I've watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Werewolf by Night, Moon Knight, Secret Invasion, and I'll never rewatch any of them again, because it's just not worth my time, because I just don't think the writing's good enough, and it's just nonsense. I think they're prioritizing. They seem to be prioritizing diversity over storyline. And I don't think that's necessarily a good thing, because I just don't think it makes sense a lot of the time.
They seem to be making
If-
changes now, though, don't they, to their lineup?
I don't know. I don't know.
interesting.
It's like I just don't think the writing's good enough, to be honest. And it's like, even, but I haven't watched it, so I don't know. But I do know that thing, that program was, I think it was that Ironheart was ready to, I think it was ready to rock in 2020, 2022. Wow. They were ready with that. They've been sitting on it for 3 years. So that's weird. The way we're only seeing the light of day now. And I'm wondering, is it because they knew, okay, this is going to bomb, so they weren't going to release it, but not releasing it then
didn't they
could
do something
subject...
similar with was it Echo? I think they did the same with that, didn't they? They just sort of dropped it and...
I forgot Echo was even a thing.
It wasn't that bad. I thought it was alright.
Didn't
Not
watch
one
it.
for
No,
rewatch, but it was alright.
That's the girl from Hawkeye, no? Hawkeye, another one I watched. Yeah, won't watch that again.
Yeah.
Wasn't Echo a dolphin?
That was a Sega game, wasn't it, Bob?
Yeah. Oh, boys.
Are you going to watch Superman? I will, Stanley.
You're too young, Jim. Sorry.
I will. You're just a whippersnapper. I will, Stanley. Yeah.
Do you remember Earthworm Jim?
Don't be jealous, guys. Don't be jealous.
Shiny here with the classic humor as usual. First 3, then weekly, last 3. All right, so they've dropped 3 and then weekly, last 3. Yeah.
Interesting.
Shane, you must watch everything. I don't watch everything. That's exactly my point, Stanley. But like over the last few, okay, I'm watching Squid Game at the moment, season 3. Really enjoying it. I recently, literally today, I finished the last episode of Yellowstone. Yellowstone, that's the second time I've watched it. Yellowstone has 5 seasons, and they do that thing, which I don't know why they do this. The seasons are typically 8 episodes long, but season 5, it had like 8 and 8 or 8 and 6. They had this like mid-season finale. Why do you bother? Breaking Bad did it once or twice.
It's not on Netflix
stupid.
either, is it? I think 1 to 4 is on Netflix.
1 to 4 is, and now we rented Paramount for 5.
Yeah, because we got to the end of 4, and then we just thought, I'm not paying 20 quid to watch the rest. But
yeah, we actually watched them all on Paramount before, and then we went and rewatched them just over the last few weeks, and phenomenal. It's just quality writing. So I can't really watch Ironheart after watching that. Do you know what I mean? Yellowstone is like, the stories are great, the characters are great. There's so many good characters. It's like a Game of Thrones type of thing. There's so many good, well-written characters, and like my top 3 characters could be different to your top 3 characters, could be different to Phil's or whatever. Like I bet
Beth
Jimmy.
Dutton's in that, isn't she?
She is 100% in there, and that's a kind of that's an R-rated conversation. But like,
and I bet Rip's in there as well.
Rip's an absolute legend. But like Jimmy, you look at Jimmy. Jimmy is one of my favorite characters and character arcs in the story. But my point is to go then and watch Ironheart after watching such quality as Squid Game 3, Yellowstone. I recently, myself and Megan went and watched, got the Daniel Craig 5 Bond films on 4K, so we watched them, and that's quality. And now we're waiting to watch. I've heard Landman is good, and is it Mobland supposed to be fantastic as well. There's so much
really good
TV. Like even the way you're shaking your head there is supposed to be that good. Severance is supposed to be amazing. And these are things I'm getting told constantly from the internet, from reviews, from YouTube, from people who I communicate in the community or outside the community, from work colleagues who I trust their judgment. And there's like a list of things that is just like, life's too short. Do you know what I mean? Time is like, life's too short, but like, so I'm not going to say it's bad because I haven't seen it, but I'm more than likely not going to watch it based on past performance. I think that's a fair enough thing to do, but so Stanley, I don't watch everything. I don't have enough time. Who else we have in the chat? Shiny Madam Web is so good. It starts to pick up at the end credits. Stick with it. Very good. Shiny's classic sense of humor. And Shiny channel member as well. Werewolf by Night was good fun. You know what? It was one of the ones that around Halloween, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen.
And it didn't feel shoehorned either. Like it was, this is part of the MCU, you got to watch. It was just...
And I liked the way it was black and white.
Yeah. Yes, that was cool.
Yeah.
The Bear's
Are
awesome
you guys watching The Bear? Yeah, but I found season 3 lost me a bit. Yeah. I watched all 3. Season 4 is coming out.
Season 4 is out.
today, isn't it? I think it's today or yesterday.
Yeah, we were watching it last night, the night before.
Yesterday,
It's
was
been
it?
out a couple of days. So good. It's one of those shows that like you start watching it, and at first we weren't like into it because we weren't in the mood, but then it just grips you. And it's not like the story's groundbreaking stuff. It's just like so character driven, and the characters are so well portrayed. They're so interesting and quirky. You just kind of get locked into it. And those episodes go like that as well. And then you're like, I need to watch another one. And I think a lot of the time that's like a good indicator.
What was that?
The bear. We're talking about
sorry,
the bear. And that's just a good indicator of, I think, a good show. It just like totally grabs you. And then the next thing you know, you've watched like 3 episodes and you're like, oh my God, I should have gone to bed 4 hours ago. But
This
yeah,
comment
it's
is
a
really
good
funny.
show.
Because like it's like Yellowstone was good until it became an advertisement for cowboy life. I don't know.
That's what we like about it. Well, I do.
There's a lot of like that where I'm like, I don't want to get up at 4:30 in the morning and come back at 5:30 and then sleep in a bunk with like 6 other people. It's just, there's a lot of it's like, I don't want to do that. That's too hard work. But like, there was a funny, like, I think I saw on, I don't know, I think it was a reel or something like that. It's like watching season 1 of Yellowstone. You're like, oh yeah, this is pretty good. Watching season 2, guy has a bottle of whiskey next to him. Watching season 3, he's wearing cowboy boots. Watching season 4, he's chewing tobacco and there's a hat, you know, a Stetson, like. But
Did he do Andor as well?
Pardon?
I feel like I saw something similar with Andor, where he ends up becoming what's the rebel's name? The he has the funny voice, famous actor. I forgot his name.
Forrest Whitaker.
Yes, that's it.
Nice.
He slowly becomes
Deception.
Forrest Whitaker throughout. Yeah, yeah, like that.
Oh,
and he just starts. It's good.
Class.
It's a good meme.
Yeah, Forrest Whitaker is the man. Really quickly, folks, we're very close. We're getting very close. You know, I think if I just drop one short with that soundbite, this is your figure if you like. This, I think just one
That's
short.
pretty good.
And this is your figure if you like. This is your figure if you share. This is your figure if you subscribe. Not doing it. Not doing it. Haven't done it. Won't do it. Have a pact with Collector Joey, man. Yeah. So we're 4,907 subscribers. Organic growth. And yeah, thanks very much if you're watching now and you've liked, subscribed, whatever, and I haven't banned you. So thanks very much. So if you are watching now and you're not, yeah, I'm telling you, if you're watching now and you haven't subscribed and you're liking the channel, the conversation, the content, please hit that like and subscribe button. Shout out to the channel members. We've got channel memberships. The link is the pinned comment in the chat. No obligation, but if you do, it is greatly appreciated. We've got 2 different tiers. We got the troopers and we got the commanders, and we have the troopers here. Collectors of the Universe, Blurred Dad Life, Yomo, Shiny, he's the one providing all the humor there in the chat. Big Rib, The Ben Thomas Show, Caffeinated Comic Fan, Dogito, Stanley, Vita, aka her geeky side, Tiny Art Guy, Figurecraft, 1-6 Shooter, Figures and Fandom, Howard Potts, Ancient Silver Fox, Jose G. Hernandez, B. Wong, Eddie Money Mendez, Jim Collector, Lancelot's Nerd Corner, Mike L, and we've got Ryan Smith as well. And then the commanders, their YouTube channel, YouTube usernames or handles or @, whatever you want to call them, are displayed at the end of all of the content like a producer, like so. Okay, so new videos. These are, well, relatively new. So I have my thoughts on the Artisan, Dark Empire, Luke Skywalker. I actually really like that thumbnail, if I do say so myself. Han Solo. Thoughts on Han Solo. An episode of Visions, episode number 56 with Geo, the movie canon. Really like talking to that guy. And this one has a total of, I think, 97 views. I just took a bunch of photos of the INART Joker 4-pack. And yeah, it's some really, well, I think there's some nice photos there, but yeah, if you're curious, maybe you'll check that out. And we're back to the grid. Who hasn't picked her? Who wants to pick? Jim? Bob?
I think it's back to Bob. I think we've gone through the tree.
Okay. Let's do MJ. I know Phil wants to talk about MJ next, so hopefully he'll be back in a second.
No problem.
I keep picking things I don't really want to talk about.
Well, look, what I'll do is I'm going to play this video here. I don't know if we can get demonetized on this, but look, I'll just play the video from the start here. I was impressed by this one.
The box art, man.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Shiny.
I have a question or concern about this.
The glove.
What's that?
The gloves he's wearing.
No, he
they
pulls the
come with
glove out. He pulls the glove out, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. It does look like it comes with a glove. What tier is this on there? That head sculpt, wow.
Like, look at the rooted hair on that, and that must have been a difficult one to do.
Yeah.
I love the way the glasses have their own little box.
Oh man, that does look good.
That's uncanny.
That neck peg is huge, going into that little head.
A lot of them are like that.
Are they?
Mm.
Does his head look too small, or is that me? Just the big jacket, innit?
That outfit, yeah. The shoulders
Yeah.
were kind of notoriously broad on it. Like, it's a very
Yeah,
really
that's what it
80s,
is.
like, yeah,
80s
yeah.
shoulder pads.
The base on
Steps,
this
even steps look great.
just looks
That's
insane.
nice.
I love the bases that they do on their figures.
Can I just say, I hate that there's a crotch grabber now. I wish they just,
Yeah.
instead of freaking out about the magnets, just
Oh, yeah.
put the entire base as one magnet.
Does it still
You know
have
what I mean?
magnets?
I don't know,
'Cause
but I just
Joker
know
doesn't.
there's a
Okay.
crotch grabber there. Like, I mean,
Yeah, it's emphasised by his pants, isn't it? By the gold.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, here's the
Gold
crotch
underpants
grabber.
type thing.
It's
That's
like
what
there's
makes
a
him-
ball.
That's what makes him go, hee hee.
yeah,
I was going to say, it looks like
Must be,
there's one
must be.
golden ball on the end of a stick from here.
it's like, yeah, it does
It
actually look like
does.
that. Like, why didn't they just go, okay, we didn't get it right with the Joker, and then
What a
those
shame.
tracks. Go on.
I just think what a shame with that crotch grabber in that picture.
What?
The crotch grabber in that picture looks rubbish, doesn't it? Or
It does.
Said shame. Yeah.
a shame,
yeah.
not a shame.
I thought it said Shane. I was like, what? The like, do you know the way? Okay, the Joker on the INART Joker, the first one they did with the magnetic base, people were complaining things were falling over. I do think that was a bit of user error. But they, not entirely. They had a small magnet in the middle of the circular base where they should have had a circular disc-shaped magnet underneath the surface, so you could magnetize the feet to any part of it. And then they did away with this, and they have the tracks for. I know they have the tracks for. They have the tracks for some of the Joaquin Phoenix Jokers, and some of the Robert Pattinson one. Why didn't they just do the whole magnet, whatever shape the base was? If it, like in this case, rectangular, put a rectangular sheet of metal, whatever it is, underneath the base and magnetize the whole thing. It's like they just panicked. Everyone's giving out. Let's just go back to basics. When silly. Costly
Funny as
plastic
Hot
do it
Toys
pretty
is
good.
going into it.
This is the question I have.
Look at that.
Is that the box they've used?
That's what I'm asking. I don't know if that's the base.
Interesting.
the box. Is that the box lying down?
That can't
Then
be
how
the
can you
box.
Sort of
display that?
needs-
It can't be. Surely it
Yeah.
can't
It
be.
looks like it needs to be portrait and not landscape.
I
That
don't know.
light up bit.
Those lights are cool though, but it's a shame that the plug sticks out the side. There and not
Yeah,
at the
I
back.
was just
That's a big eyesore.
But you know what? You know what people will do? They'll get those the same power source that you can buy them at a right angle, so you'll just see it a little bit less, but you'll still be able to see it.
Good shout. I was wondering how he poses because you know he's quite famous for his dance moves, isn't he? So
Mm.
because he's just
Yeah,
kind of
because
standing there so far.
It would look really good if you could get him into that sort of moonwalk pose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can he do the moonwalk thriller?
Or sort of Billie Jean pose, you know, the
Yeah,
Is that
uh,
the
Zord
different
will do it.
outfit, yeah.
in Zord we trust if he's getting this one, but it's
That's
pretty
what-
niche one.
Yes.
And-
yeah.
and maybe
Might be
that's
too
why
young
you-
to appreciate MJ.
Maybe that's why you got the crotch grabber, because I can't imagine the magnet. If assuming that his toes are articulated, you probably
don't
couldn't
know, I
do
feel
that with
like-
magnets, could you?
I think you could with if you get the balance right and the magnets are strong enough, and especially the ankles if they're strong enough. Because someone like
Wasn't the Joker
my Joker
on sort
one's
of
pretty.
toe tips though?
Yeah, but I find him like I still have. He hasn't really fallen over like once, to be quite honest, on that one. Oh no, he has actually. I tell a lie, he did. I put him too much of a lean, but I've got some crazy like single leg poses with him, and some of like some of the other figures I've had with magnets as well. You can do pretty good stuff.
Vid
I
has
love
been
the
a
magnets.
member for 6 months. Thank you very much. Whoop whoop, much appreciated. We got Mike L here as well, channel member, chiming in. Phil is a member for 26 months. Phil has single-handedly paid my mortgage. I much appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. That's very nice of you.
Well done, Phil.
Get this man to 5k. Thanks very much, Phil. I do appreciate that. Hey guys, sorry I couldn't get home in time. No problem. We'll be on for another little while anyway. If you managed it, always welcome. Big Rib says, what is up, everyone? Channel member as well. Thanks very much. Cross grabbers, absolutely the worst. They did give up on the magnetic. I don't think they should. The magnetic base fine, works perfectly well for me. Man, I kind of disagree with you, Mike. As in, I've had no problems with it because I'm used to posing without bases. And I've taken the time to position, I suppose, the magnets on the rail system. But I do think they could do it better with just magnetize the entire surface like caustic plastic do. But yeah, I mean, I haven't any issues with it, but I think it would be better if the whole thing was magnetized. Personally, but so you can obviously pose your figures well, Mike, if you're not having an issue with it. I'm not having an issue with it either. Same with the magnetic wrist pegs. They gave up on that concept. It's funny because I don't think it's a custom piece I'm looking for. Has magnetic wrists, or looking at a custom figure I'm looking at has magnetic wrists and a magnetic base as well, and a magnetic base looks pretty damn good as well. So it's funny how custom or third party producers are doing it better than some of these
Joker's magnetic
licensed.
still, isn't he? Isn't the Joaquin Phoenix Joker still magnetic with the forearms at least? I feel like the forearms magnetize in, so, and that's a relatively
I
newish
think they're.
release.
I can't remember, to be honest.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
So I hope they don't drop out on that, to be honest.
This is a niche one. Anyone getting this?
What do you guys think of the outfit? Because is this like, in my head, I don't remember this outfit.
It's not his most iconic one.
No,
Dangerous
it's not.
Tour?
It is,
It's figure form wise, I think it kind of makes some sense because it's quite,
Right.
It pops.
Yeah.
I'd have preferred a
He's
thriller
the king
Michael
of pop,
Jackson.
though. You see, he's the king of pop.
Yeah,
Yes.
so would I
Yeah,
prefer
that's true.
Thriller.
I think it was after
Yeah,
that.
thriller would have been cool.
Was it History? Maybe this one.
I think you're
All
right.
the white suits.
I think you're
the
right.
white suit with the trilby.
I'm not a big enough fan to know.
Smooth Criminal, yeah.
Yeah, Smooth Criminal.
Thriller, I love, but that's kind of.
I just can't not look at those gold pants. I just see a big pair of gold pants.
Avert your eyes, Bob.
Do you like
I know,
Superman?
can't
Do you like
keep my eyes-
Superman?
Yeah, that's the theme of tonight's show. Like, this guy's wearing his underpants outside his pants.
I mean, come on.
So is Superman,
Yeah.
So
It's good enough for
Imagine
Superman.
that with your module case lights on it. Those pants are going to dazzle you, aren't they?
it will look stunning.
Gemma's a massive MJ fan, and she's 40 this year. But I'm a selfish prick, so I'm probably not going to get it for no. What did you?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm almost sure she bought. I just sort of started courting. There's an old word, courting. When I'm almost sure she had
Courting.
tickets courting. I know.
Man, like, we're
They were the days, Phil.
I know.
Medieval
remember
times.
them?
talking like that. You're old enough to be on the bloody glue heap, like.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Almost. But I'm almost positive she had tickets because he was meant to play the O2, wasn't he? Then he passed away. So she was meant to see it. I was fortunate enough. I saw him twice. I saw the Bad and the Dangerous Tours.
Ah, man, you actually saw him live.
wow.
That is
Yeah,
Cool.
he
That
was-
is cool.
that is cool, man. That
I
is
didn't-
cool.
As weird as he may come across, as a performer, he was outstanding.
He's one of those
Absolutely
people that is such a big icon that like
incredible. Yeah.
whether you're a huge fan or not, seeing him live is just like a, you know, something you'll remember.
I mean, the biggest issue for me was probably because I was so young, I didn't appreciate it as much as I would now if I got to see him or some of the great musicians that are out there. But yeah, Gemma loves it. She's 40 this year in November, so if he's still available around the October time, I may dip in and maybe pick it up for her. But
That's pretty cool, man.
That's cool.
it's an outstanding figure, though. It's an unbelievable figure. It's not for me, but
Like this guy, his influence is still very much apparent. Like, I mean, you take the likes of, I'm thinking about like pop stars who dancing is a big part of their performance. The likes of Justin Timberlake, Usher, Bruno Mars. Like a lot of these lads would have been still influenced by him, but I don't like any of them. But I like Michael Jackson, and I like his music and stuff like that. Like, you know, I don't know. I know like his very strange things about like his skin color changing and his the allegations against him, and I don't know what's true and false, and we'll never know. But like, just from an artist point of view, music is fantastic stuff. Like,
I mean, I read Moonwalker and it was quite tragic, but then obviously that, how much of that was sort of planted in there for him to sort of write about and what have you. But reading
it
that,
probably wasn't a warts and all biography.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think there was probably a lot of that was. Sort of
I understand his father was quite harsh on him, like
supposedly.
I heard that.
And from a very young age, I think he would have been touring, I think, with the Jackson 5, and his older brothers there were significantly, I think, a good bit older than him, and he kind of robbed of a childhood, really, which is never a good start to life. Like, so there is there's definitely some, it's kind of sad poignant bits, but he I would have preferred, like, look, I'm not going to get this, and it's not that I don't like his music's fantastic. It's just I don't collect characters that are real. You know, I want to keep the collection up. Again, it's just guardrails and the collection so it doesn't get out of control. I want to see fictional characters. I want to see characters from science fiction movies, from, you know, comic book movies, stuff like that. Like, you know, movies that I really like or whatever, action movies, whatever. I don't want to come in and see, like, you know, Kurt Cobain, even though I'm a Nirvana fan, or Michael Jackson, even though I'm a Michael Jackson fan. And it's just a slippery slope. You get one, then you're like, oh, maybe I will get that Blitzway Kurt Cobain. Start a little music display. But it's just a slippery slope. But this looks stunning, though. This looks stunning. And it's one of those ones that it's not just 1/6 scale collectors that'll be into it. You're going to have people who are just diehard MJ fans who will spend anything on anything to do with MJ. They're out there. So I think this is a W for INART, or
I think so, but it sort of crept up and just appeared, if you know what I mean.
They do that though, don't they? They just like
it's
like a soft release. It's like, here's a video of unboxing.
Interesting to see how quickly they get these shipped, but what the hell is going on with the rest of the line that they supposedly have licenses to? And
is this a worldwide release? Do we know?
Good question. I don't know.
Like, can we buy it from their site? I mean,
I don't know. Would you buy from INART Direct again?
It's available on Toys Buying Agent. But
would you buy from INART again Direct?
It's a tough one because they take a while for these figures to come out. So at least with INART Direct, there is that relative peace of mind of, it's like ordering almost from Sideshow, where I'm like, it's coming from the developer. It's not like for example, One Man's Hobby, like, which went recently. Was it One Man's Hobby? It was, wasn't it? That he disappeared.
What about the pricing, guys? How did you find the pricing direct from INART?
Pricing was okay, I think.
Bizarrely, the 1/12 Batman, the shipping cost the exact same amount as the figure, and I went with kits.
Did you buy direct?
No, I went with. I was going to. I went in for the pre-order. They sent me the confirmation email, and then when I got the price for the figure and the estimated price for the shipping was as much as the figure. So I ended up going with kits because the shipping price was half of what they were charging.
It's interesting.
I didn't bother in the end.
The speed of INART's an issue as well. from
Yeah.
buying direct. So I'd have thought if you buy direct, you'd almost not be prioritized, but you wouldn't
You would
be
expect that, yeah.
so far down the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like if you ordered a Sideshow figure, you wouldn't expect
Yeah.
to get it from Kit faster than you would get it from Sideshow.
No, you wouldn't. But to go back to Shane's question, I don't think I would, to be honest. I probably would
I don't think
order
I would
from
either.
Kit.
If I'd order from Lion Rock Toys, I'd already have it. I wouldn't have paid shipping, and I won't be paying customs. Whereas buying from INART, I don't have it. I don't get any, because Lion Rock, they'll undercut Sideshow price for me. So it means that I'm getting the figure
fair.
cheaper. I'm not paying customs. I'm not paying shipping. That makes it worth my while, and that's significant savings. And I'm going to make a video anyway, so it just makes it worth my while. And it's nice being able to Instagram and message them and go, hey, what's your price on this? When's it shipping, whatever, and have a bit of a direct line. Yeah, and they still take a day or two to get back to me, but like it's I know that's a unique setup with that, like, but I'd rather, I think, give them the money and know that I'm not paying shipping, not paying customs, and like with the INART thing, no, I'm great figures, great products, but their company needs work, so
Operations, yeah.
Can I make a suggestion? The top middle one there is a TV, so it's just like, what are you watching recently? What have you seen that's good or bad? It can be like TV shows, movies, 4K, or it could be a trip to the cinema. We can kind of just do a round table on this real quickly before we move on to the last three topics. But what do you think? Anything? What have you been watching, Bob?
I can be quite quick if you like. I'm watching Squid Game. I just finished Squid Game 3 today. Totally loved it. And the best thing I've seen on telly for ages was Prodigy at Glastonbury, which I watched on telly
Oh wow.
the other night. And they were on
Is it
for
weird that Keith
hour and a half.
is gone now?
Yeah.
They did a very good kind of tribute to
They
him
do like a
with the
laser light
Firestarter.
show.
Yeah, with him and the other guy just sort of stood there, and they don't sort of perform it, but they know the crowd wants it. But the rest, and the rest of the show and the light show and the volume was up to 15. Absolutely, I mean, my wife watched it with me, and it was. And she's not a big fan, but it just blew us both away. So highly worth watching if you can grab it on iPlayer somewhere.
Yeah,
that's
really
really
good.
good.
Must watch it. Yeah.
Probably one of my favourite bands, Prodigy. Love it.
Yeah,
Because they're funny. They're
Brilliant.
like, I always thought it was just a DJ. Well, okay, not always. When I was younger, I thought it was just DJs. But then I was on a music festival. They were playing. I was walking by the stage. And it was like a full live band, and I think there was a DJ there as well and stuff. I was like, man, this is not what I expected. But Phil, what you watching? What have you seen?
Mobland is absolutely fantastic. I've been watching Ironheart.
Oh, you've been watching it.
Yeah, only because there was nothing else on. I thought, what can we catch up on?
Ian loved it.
Yeah, I could tell. Yeah, yeah. He loved it as much as your dog loved losing his balls.
Yeah.
By the sound of it.
in this heat as well.
Yeah.
Look, the poor little man. The poor little man. God bless him.
Poor boy.
He will never forgive me for this. He will never forgive me for this. But yeah. That's a good equation or comparison.
Yes, I've just started watching. I think it's called Countdown with
Richard Whiteley.
Jensen Ackles on Prime.
Interesting.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. The storyline feels a bit familiar, but yeah, it's worth a punt. But yeah, Mobland 100%. I'd give that a go. Definitely, probably going to jump into Squid Game because I've only watched season 1. And in answer to Steve's question, my next one is hopefully Han Solo this week.
I'll put that up there. You know what? Actually, after we go round table on this, I'll put Steve comments up, and we'll answer that, and that will lead perfectly into probably everyone's answer. Yeah. So you're going to get on Squid Game. And you've been watching Marvel.
Yeah, I watched season 1. I was kind of put off by season 2. There was sort of mixed reviews, and it didn't quite have the same quality as the first season. But I've been told now season 3 is a banger, so I'm gonna have to watch season 2 just to sort of.
I quite liked season 2. I thought it was mad that he's actually going back in. I'd be like, you have more money than God, man. You survived. What are the odds of you surviving twice? It's crazy. But like, I'm watching season 3 as well. I'm on episode 2. I've watched 2 episodes, I think.
At the end of the trailers of season 3, is that when he sort of walks into the Acolyte and then his career ends?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's exactly.
I thought so. Yeah.
100%. Nailed it. So, I've rewatched Yellowstone again for the second time. Just fantastic. I'm going to rewatch 1923 because I haven't seen season 2 of that. And I'm going to watch that. I've watched 2 episodes of season 3 of Squid Game, and I went to see The Ballerina, which, man, I'm just going to put this up. Realistically, I don't think any of the John Wick movies are masterpieces. They're not life-changing stuff, but they're bloody good action. You do have to accept that they're very self-aware. This is the John Wick universe. Like the comment I made earlier on, like, you know, nothing that Anna de Armas or no woman would be able to do what she does, the ballerina does in that movie. But at the same time, no man would be able to do what John Wick does because it's so bloody ridiculous, but it's self-aware, and that's why it works. It's kind of like watching a computer game shooter type thing. It's just, yeah, anyway. Great movies. I genuinely thought The Ballerina was going to be like a 2 at best, but I'm stuck between giving it 3 stars and 4 stars. It's not 5, but depending, I think I'm being conservative giving it 3. I might actually give it 3.5, 4. Yeah, so well worth it if you're at a loose end and if you like the John Wick movies. I wouldn't go watching The Ballerina not having seen the other John Wick movies. I think it'll be lost in you. But if you've seen the movies and you want to go to cinema, I quite enjoyed it. The choreography, very good.
And if it's just dropping digital as well, that's good news. I'll probably catch on the weekends.
Might be on 4K in a while.
4K.
Yeah.
Jim?
Quite similar to you guys. I guess I've seen I finished Squid Game season 3. If I'm honest, season 2 and 3 are the same season. Basically, I don't see why it should have been a season 2.5.
I did hear that. Yeah, I heard it was.
It's a weird way that they've done that, but because like it's a complete story, right? It'll be like watching the first 6 episodes of Andor and saying that's season 2, and then the next 6 episodes of Andor and saying that's season 3. It's just a bit weird in how that works. If anything, it's worse because the time between it is a lot shorter. But it's a really, really good season. I absolutely loved it. Mobland, again, I watched that as well. Fantastic. The only thing I haven't finished at the moment is The Bear. So The Bear is really good. I'd highly rate it. Even if you found the last season a bit off, I would agree with you. This season has pulled me right back in. Last season, plot-wise, it didn't seem like
I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that.
Yeah. But this one so far is good. I haven't finished it yet. The next, I really want to watch. I still haven't seen the Predator series, the animated series.
Killer of Killers?
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. So I want to watch that.
Where to watch it?
Vita. I want her to watch, because she's never really seen many of the, I don't think any of the Predator films, but I want to watch Prey with her, because I think that's a film she could probably get behind. And then kind of go into that to see if she enjoys it. So.
You could nearly watch Predator, Prey, and then she'd know everything
definitely.
she really needed to know.
Definitely.
True. Predators, maybe. That was quite a good one.
Yeah, I only watched that recently.
The species.
It got by me, but I
really?
did actually. Yeah, I watched Predator. I'd watched Predator 2, and then I went to the cinema to see The Predator. I thought that was absolute nonsense, and I was never the biggest fan of Predator 2.
Yeah.
But I recently sat down and was like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to rewatch Predators. But then I was watching it, it's like, I know I've never seen this movie. I've missed this movie. And when I go back and see when it was released, I think I was in New Zealand that summer, as in Irish summer, New Zealand winter, snowboarding. So I was like, I didn't have any interest in watching anything. I was snowboarding and that was it. And it was like, I missed so much. Avengers 2012 didn't see it in the cinema because I was in New Zealand, you know. But I quite liked Predators. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good one. Really good entry.
Is that the Adrian Brody one, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it
planet.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It was a good take and twist on it, and again, it
Yeah.
introduced the different types of predators, right? With the varying species, which we've now kind of seen a bit more in Prey, and so on and so forth. And I imagine the animated series is similar. I don't know, but
Yeah,
It's
no,
only a
good
movie.
one.
It's just a movie. It's just one thing, like an hour and a half.
I thought it was
Yeah,
like
it's not a series. It's one.
It's like an
thing
anthology,
broken
innit?
up into 4 parts.
Yeah.
It's like an
okay.
anthology, so you get these continual.
Nice.
It's time well
I'll have to watch
spent.
It is, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Highly recommend it. Really good.
We've all gone, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Steve, Figures and Fandom. If you haven't checked out Steve's channel, Figures and Fandom, I was watching his Sunday show. I think I watched a replay yesterday. Yeah, that makes sense. Monday. Go over, check out his channel. He's a diehard Star Wars fan, and I'm surprised he actually still watches this channel, because I can be quite harsh on some Star Wars content. But Andor, man, come on, Andor. Yeah. So look. Check out Steve, and Steve says, he's a channel member, and he says, what's the next Star Wars figure you were picking up? That is a perfect segue. Thank you for that, Steve. We are going to go straight into, which I presume will be our answer. I don't think we're all thinking the same one. Would that be right?
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't know. What you guys thinking?
Can't remember.
I feel like mine's a way off.
I'm
Solo?
picking up Han Solo.
Oh no. I said that no as in like no, but no, I'm not.
Man,
No.
Oh no.
man.
Nah, I don't want
These
him.
days.
No.
No, I yeah, that came out wrong.
Are you
me,
waiting
it's,
for Empire Strikes Back? Because that's the only possible reason I can think of. So I go on. You go first. So yours will be, your response will be probably the most interesting of all of ours, because I'm going to say nice
Mine?
things about mostly. Yeah, go on. Why aren't you getting this?
Why aren't I getting this? I don't have I have Luke now, which I wasn't planning to get. I just don't have enough finances or space to go down that line as an entirety, if that makes sense.
Pretty much the most honest thing you'll ever hear on a 1/6 scale collecting stream ever. Yeah, I salute you. Sorry, continue on.
I can't go down that line. I can't have I mean, I could just have Han Solo, but if I want to represent the original trilogy, I mean, I have Luke Skywalker. I mean, that's a pretty definitive way to do it. I do have Darth Vader. It is from Kenobi, but he comes with a clean look, so that kind of spans, most of Star Wars, to be fair. So I have that. This figure does look good. It's not a knock on the figure at all, or the character. I think Han Solo is fantastic. It's definitely one of my favorite characters from the original trilogy. And although we don't talk about the sequels, I was devastated from Episode 7. But yeah, I'm not going to get this. I have seen some photos recently that make those forehead lines look less egregious, I suppose. And I think the likeness is pretty solid. The hair's a lot better on this. I think this is an improvement over the prototype from what I remember. Especially the hair. The hair doesn't look as crazy as this. I was watching, I think it was Ben's show, maybe. He mentioned about, someone mentioned about the hair falling down the front. How in the movie he kind of generally has that, and Hot Toys probably should have sculpted that in. Well, Shane, you were on that show, I suppose, so you would probably remember. And I think that's a fair point. Maybe that would have helped mask the size of the forehead a little bit, but I think it is a good figure. I'm not going down the line, which is why I'm not picking it up.
Yeah. As
In a
in,
nutshell.
do you have any original trilogy figures?
Just look, just the, what was it? The Bespin. Is it Bespin?
Yeah, that's a
I just have
pretty
Luke.
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that.
Yeah. I think if I had to pick
Again,
one
I
Luke,
won.
Go on.
Yeah, he's good. The base is good, but I won him alongside the Anakin. So he was something I never planned to actually pick up. So he was just like an accidental addition. So I can't complain about that, to be honest. And I am actually quite glad to have him. And he is a good figure. I like that he has two different hair pieces. So you have that kind of that option.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I wouldn't go deeper down because if I got Han Solo, I'd have to get Wookiee. I'd have to get Chewie. Yeah, I'd have to get Chewie.
It's like you don't get a 3PO without an R2. It's just
Yeah, that'd be weird. Yeah, I'd have to pick them up as a
it'd be
duo.
like getting Laurel without Hardy.
Hardy.
Do you know?
Mm.
Do you know? It'd be like getting Ian
Makes
without
sense.
a 4K player. You know. Yeah.
Okay.
The really quickly on this is coming home. I don't have a Han Solo, even though I would, yes, prefer the Empire Strikes Back Han Solo, which is inevitable on a long enough timeline. They give us everything in the last 12 months. We've seen announcement of this Harrison Ford figure, and also the Captain America 4 Red Hulk Harrison Ford figure. But I can't pass up on this. Inevitably, I might eventually get this and sell this for the Empire Strikes Back, or I'll keep the two of them. Okay, really quickly. The hair is still not perfect. It's not their best example of Hot Toys sculpted hair. Hot Toys does fantastic sculpted hair. This is not an example of fantastic Hot Toys sculpted hair, but it is better than the prototype, which had a bit more volume. It's passable. It's serviceable, I believe the word is. His forehead. If you look at photos of Harrison Ford from 1983, probably 1982 when they were making a movie, because the movie came out in 1983, he's got two pretty defining wrinkles above his left and his right eyebrow. Then he has one that joins. It seems to me here that they've not only made the wrinkles a little bit more prominent and deeper, but also added one, if not two extra ones. I think that's where the forehead gate comes from. So that's my criticisms on it. Apart from that, it's a Han Solo. I tell you exactly what really sold it for me. You know that I like characters that have long trench coats or dusters, whether it's Neo or Kay from Blade Runner, or Deckard from the first Blade Runner, or Kyle Reese, or Cad Bane, or Doc Ock. I just think they're very cool looking, and
Agreed.
This is no different. That's a cool pose, but I think the one that I'm going for, if I use the base, is either that one, which I think looks epic, and you have to pose it on that base like that because there's not enough space for him to open his legs out and have them both on the base because of the foliage or whatever. So you're going to have to do the whole Captain Morgan pirate 1 foot up if you can balance it out, which, yeah. Or I actually prefer that one, even though he looks like he's using the Force. That looks way cool. Cooler.
That's a good point.
I don't know, like it's I think I prefer that one. Maybe he's calling to someone. I don't know. I don't care. It makes no sense. I really like that pose. So that or that. I think the coat sits pretty well. Yeah, this is coming up. Phil.
Okay, I'm going to be completely honest. I think the indie head sculpt of Han, even though he's of Harrison Ford, even though it's an older face, obviously, is a far better representation of Harrison Ford.
100% agree. Yeah, 100% agree. Hatefully, but I agree.
Yeah. I would preferred him to have a smirk. So if you go back a couple of slides, if you can, Shane, where he's sort of doing the hands out gesture, like there we go. That, and I think there's another one with the diorama.
That'd be a great pose
forest.
if it had the smirk and a few less lines.
And to me, that's synonymous of Han Solo is that cheeky grin, sort of smirk. I would have preferred that. I could still live with the lines because it's the only Han that I'm potentially going to have.
Do you think maybe this is something that was lost in translation? Because from what I hear, himself and Carrie Fisher had a lot of lines when making that movie, and maybe there's something lost in translation. They put the wrong lines into him.
Maybe.
Have you heard those rumors?
No.
We'll talk about them off camera. I think the two of them were a fan of the Class A while making these movies. I believe.
Okay.
I don't know, is this nonsense, but I think it's been documented as well.
Nevertheless, I think he looked better for it.
Yeah.
Because of his character, because of he was a rogue, wasn't he? So like that gesture would have been far better with him. The previous one, sorry, Shane, back again.
I hate this pose.
Other way.
I hate this pose.
That's terrible.
Back
But even
here?
there, and again, one more. There we go. That would have been
This
better
one?
with a grin. No, the one before.
This one.
That's better with a
Yeah,
grin.
yeah. The body language is saying one thing, but the face is saying something else.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when your missus says, "I'm fine." She's not fine.
you know, I've got the Lando. I think you got rid of your Lando, Shane. Did you? Or did you box him up?
No, I still have him here.
I think
I know I'm reluctant to sell original trilogy figures. I have them there. Yeah, at one stage I boxed them up, but then I reposed them, and yeah, that was it.
Him sort of take the cape off Lando because that's shocking anyway. Take the jacket off Han, stood next to Lando Calrissian with a cheeky grin, and possibly that sort of gesture. Brilliant.
I kept the cape on Lando.
I've got the cape on him, but it's terrible.
I ironed it. Not ironed it. I used sticky tape to fold in the pleats a bit better.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
And then
shout.
I didn't iron it. What did I do? I think I did. I put the collar down. I think I did actually iron it, but I
think I remember.
No, it was the hair dryer. The hair dryer. The hair dryer. That's what it. I just held it down and put that on like a medium heat, and eventually molded it around his neck a bit better. So yeah.
Yeah. So don't get me wrong. I'm chuffed to bits for getting a Han. I've waited a long time for Han Solo, but when you consider and I know they do better with older characters, but he's no spring chicken in this either, is he? I mean, he's got wrinkles for God's sake. It's a shame it couldn't have been a banger like the indie sculpt, but hey, it's coming home. Hopefully we'll get Empire Han soon, or announcement soon, but yeah, I'm getting him.
Mark Attack gets the reference. Good stuff. Show me a better one that doesn't cost $900. No one is arguing with you here, my friend. Mark Harkness, it's an older face. That's funny. I like that. It's an older face, but it checks out. Very good, very good, very good. You can stay. Do you suppose we'll ever get Lando from Return of the Jedi? Skiff guard? Yeah, it seems like an easy thing for them to do, to be honest.
Yeah, I love a skiff guard, yeah.
This is coming home. I'm waiting on Line Rock to come back to me with a price. Did you order this already, Phil?
Yeah, I just noticed Mark Mitchell commenting there that he's picking his up from Toys on Fire on Thursday, which means hopefully I'll get mine Friday then, because I'm having mine delivered.
And that's good. So you get on Friday. Sweet.
Hopefully.
By the way, I think it's only a matter of time before we see 1/6 Kit or someone like that, or someone on Instagram posting custom 1/6 long sleeve blue jackets, so you can swap out the black vest here with the blue jacket and recreate the Besman look.
Yeah, all in.
That will happen 100%. 100%. I want that.
Top
I like the duster, but what I prefer is not have to sell this figure and replace it with an Empire Strikes Back in a while. Just have the custom jacket. You know, it just makes more sense. You know. Yeah. So, what about yourself, Bob? I know you're a Star Wars fan. Any interest in this?
I am. I'm a bit of an oddball copy on this one because I've got Chewie on pre-order and I can't wait to get that. This is my favourite character. But I'm not getting this. It's not my favourite expression or sort of feeling of Han. Like, his personality doesn't come through as I remember him. I like, again, the grin. I almost want to get the old... Are they called in disguise, you know, when they're in the sort of stormtroopers?
Yeah. The grin on that is quite good.
And that's just kind of like... That's kind of the iconic Han and Luke to me, really. So I'm sort of on the lookout to get them at some point. So he just wouldn't fit with everything else I've got going on.
The only time
but it's great. It looks great.
The only time I saw him with a face like this is when he told... or said to Leia that he thought she was humping Luke, and he was a bit. Yeah,
he looks
peeved
really concerned. He puts me on edge just looking at his expression. It's like I feel anxious for him. I don't know why.
He looks stern. He looks quite stern.
Yeah, and it's not Han Solo. Han Solo is, do you know, like the Jack Sparrow head sculpt where it's that sort of, you know, lad shaking us about it.
Yeah.
Sort of,
and he's got this smirk face sculpt. I know.
And that's what you think. Quality. Even when they're in dire straits, like in the scenes in Return of the Jedi, and the AT walker's there. There's an entire legion of the enemy in front of him, and he's still pulling the grin and going, "Hey."
Yeah.
You know.
This is where they should bring DXs back a bit more and do 2 head sculpts again.
Or even faceplates, like the Jack Sparrow. You know.
Even faceplates. It can't be way
Especially
beyond
when you-
the realms of possibility.
You've made the bloody brow that big and the hair so far. You could have put faceplates in there. But hey,
Yeah, they can easily do that. That would be an easy fix for something like this, and it would appease a lot more people. To be
maybe
honest.
Tina will do some rooted hair for him, and because she smashed the Bo-Katan, so I don't know.
True. I can see her doing
Perhaps it's
that.
worth reaching out and seeing what she can do. But
It'd be hard to root hair this short, though, no?
But Bo-Katan, apart from the bob, okay, she had a bit of a bob, but I
She's
don't know, I
like
think she could pull that
shoulder
off.
length almost, isn't she? Yeah, possibly.
I've got it on there. Yeah.
I just want to take one more look at that.
If I was to
I like
get
that.
it probably would be from A New Hope.
I'm with
If I was to get any of them.
Shane though. I think I'd probably go with the two poses that you're keen on, Shane, because it suits the expression.
They did a great job with these two. Because it suits the expression. You're right. You can't do a lot of those other cheeky ones with this pose necessarily, but I just think you're incorporating the jacket as well and the base. It's like you're getting more value for the figure you just paid for.
It's like a wide jacket, which is good.
I don't use bases that often, but I think
That's a bit of a thing as well with figures like this. I think with these high bases, they work on the figures like, for me, like Vader. But when you start putting them amongst your other figures, those of us that do use bases, I mean, why would Han Solo need to loom above everyone else? Do you know what I mean? I'd have to swap this base out for a standard one just so. And I know other people do that, don't they? But it just,
Yeah, a
I
lot of
don't
people
get the
do.
base. I mean,
I know
what is
Dan,
that base?
like-
It's kind of half platform, and then where would you ever see that? It's not like he's inside an Imperial building, and it's not like he's in the jungle. It's kind of.
I get you.
I
But
don't
this
get
is
it.
just them.
But that's what they're doing, isn't it?
They got this new base and they were getting
Yeah.
this out of the mold, like.
And it looks good lit up, like with the Vader and stuff. It looks brilliant, and the malls. And I know the mall one doesn't light up, but it
It's
just looks
funny when
odd
it
to me
comes
to
to
have.
bases. Like I'm just having a look. Like typically, I think it's cleaner when I don't use bases, but I will in certain situations. Like obviously, the Death Star light up bases are fantastic because it's a piece of the set and it lights up, which is pretty damn epic. The Iron Man one with the Ironmonger is pretty damn good because even like it just makes sense. Like have him, triumphing over the defeating the Iron Man. The Bane from the Dark Knight makes sense because that piece of the railing, was in that fight scene. The Besman Luke is fantastic, and then the INART ones are like the stairs in the studio. They're just epic. But your standard square, rectangular sand base, or even like the kind of, the Death Star floor, they just don't really do it for me. You know what I mean? Sometimes I use bases to hide wires. Like I mean, there's an Iron Man up there. If I can kind of see it, 1 second, give you an example. Okay, so that's the original diecast Mark 6 Iron Man. It's not the recent 2.0. It's lit up with fusion, so the eyes, the chest, and the hands are lit up. And you can't see the wires coming down off there, but there's a wire going back of that leg. And I just have it on a base from a Terminator figure, a piece of road. And that's to hide the wire that's going directly behind to the corner, because from the angle I can't see it now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just makes sense
Absolutely.
just to get that tiny little bit of elevation. Like typically, I'd say maybe 75% of bases probably sit in the box for me, unfortunately. So yeah. The Moose Man says, I pre-ordered Han just recently, though it was announced last year. I couldn't order earlier because I couldn't make this my first Han, which means
He's picked up another Han.
he's picked up another Han.
Definitely
All right,
has.
so is this one of two then? Okay, so which Han did you pick up, Moose? Let us know. I presume you went, I'm guessing Stormtrooper or A New Hope. Oh, they're both A New Hope. Yeah, let us know. Interesting.
Is it? Did they ever do a Bespin? Or have they ever done a Bespin Han? No. It's just the
No,
Stormtrooper.
they haven't done
and...
Bespin.
Oh, this
A New Hope.
Coming in. It's got to be.
A New Hope single pack, A New Hope double pack with
Yeah.
Chewie. They did the Old Man Han from
Oh yeah. And to be fair, that head sculpt was good though.
because it's
Yeah, it
all
was.
the Leia, the Crate Luke, all the sequels figures. Those the big three, who never shared screen time with each other. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I just like there's.
Out of interest, Shane, was that you in the airfield on the Irish garrisons photos?
No, it wasn't. I
thought you'd weathered up. I thought, oh, he's
No, it wasn't. That was Jamie. He's got the Sandy, the Sand Trooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he actually bought that from someone I think who had been in the garrison, and there were a lot of these lads like they'll especially if they make stuff themselves, they'll have like 3 or 4 maybe plus. Some lads have 10 kits like. So
Wow.
Jamie bought that off someone, so it was already pre-weathered, proper Sand Trooper. It looks the business like. Whereas mine wouldn't pass as Sand Trooper because it's just a clean look, you know.
Yeah.
I got the E22. One of the boys in the 5 printed out all the parts for me, so it's there like a jigsaw puzzle, about 100 parts or whatever. I haven't done anything to it, so it needs to be sanded to remove all the 3D print lines, and then primed and filled. And you have to be in a mind frame from it. So I might do a bit over the summer and get a bit sanded. If I got it sanded over the summer, that'd be a good.
That's a good fun project, though.
I'm not in the headspace for it, like, but I know that when I will, I'll just bang it out, like. But no, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. Pretty cool photos though.
Yeah, good.
Dave, where you been, Dave? I'm cancelling Han. Now, if he had claws coming out of his knuckles, there's no way you'd cancel that. Be honest.
That's very true.
I have too much MPO. See, this is maturity. This is the type of level-headed maturity that we need in a show like this, because too much keeps getting announced. Everything on my list is a big deal, so big deal has to go. That's solid logic, man. I can't argue with that. And that
And
it's tough, man.
well.
But you know,
It's hard.
you have to pick between your children essentially. Moose got the A New Hope Stormtrooper in Disguise. Good stuff. Thanks for playing with the old codger in the community. That sounds questionable, Moose. but okay, that's no problem. I appreciate that. Stanley, I'm going to go Liam Neeson. I'm going to find you. I've got a particular set of skills which makes me a nightmare for people like you. Me so dangerous. Okay, so are we done with Han then? Everyone in the panel, the Jim's not getting him. But he's
I'd more likely get Jar Jar actually.
Jim. I complimented your hair, man.
Sorry, it's just because I have Darth Maul, right? So I'm already into Phantom Menace, so it just makes sense. Yeah, there is a reason for that.
Yeah. Jim, what would you like to pick? We've got Face Off left. We have got Face Off.
Soups.
Have we done Superman yet?
Face Off. Yeah, we can. Yeah, actually, we can.
Should we do Superman?
Cool.
Yeah.
So
Down for that.
now I want everyone on their best behavior for this.
What are you insinuating?
Yeah, Phil is the one you need to watch.
Yeah, because David Cornsweat, he's just so handsome. How do I play this? Well, I feel like my dad using FaceTime here. Here we go. Okay. Right. So this is the moment that he doesn't look impressed already, where they produce a prototype of the Hot Toys David Cornsweat Superman from the James Gunn Superman
I couldn't
2025.
believe how different he looked sat there. Because first of all, I was like, who the hell is that?
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
A bit like Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Liam.
So I think the short hair suits him though. The kind of the buzz cut.
I was saying
but
this
he-
better. She disagrees with me.
He does say, oh no, he's a very handsome man, but he does say in the audio here that he says that's Superman, but I don't see myself in it.
I liked that.
Yeah. Maybe he's just trying to be humble. Maybe he's like, that's Superman, that's not me, as in like distancing himself, like because he doesn't want credit onto himself, or maybe he's just like, yeah, I don't think it looks like me, you know.
Something you said earlier made me think of that when you were saying like you don't buy people, you buy the characters. Well, you were talking about real life people, and that made me think of what he said. And I think that's probably how actors view this. And there's that there's a clip where Tom Holland's talking about, he gets told about Hot Toys, and he's okay with people buying Spider-Man, but he's weirded out when people buy, just him. And I just thought that was like an interesting thing, because I always, if there was an action figure of me, I would be like, get in. So it's just interesting to see different
I'd buy it, Jim.
factors of it. And
I would too.
oh, thanks guys.
But
even
they
see,
wouldn't.
like,
They wouldn't be able to
reflections.
get. They wouldn't get the hair right. It'd have to be sculpted hair because there's no
No.
way they'd be able to do artisan hair.
You have to
that
buy
good.
2 as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
the
definitely.
trouble with someone like Tom Holland is that Tom Holland looks like Peter Parker.
Yeah,
when,
it's kinda
like,
true,
like you
yeah,
look
yeah.
at when
Yeah.
you look at Cole Sweat there. When I
Yeah.
first saw this, I thought, that's not him, is this? Surely that's not.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
that's
it
true.
is. But Tom Holland just looks like Peter Parker. In his
He's
normal
almost
day,
baby
you know.
faced a bit as Superman, isn't he? Like he's got
Yeah.
that kind of more innocent look where he's a bit more
It's
rugged.
clean
now.
shaven.
Mm.
What like
beard,
okay,
man.
so this suit has been, I suppose, subjected to criticism, ridicule for multiple different reasons. I heard people say it's kind of they don't like the piping on it, or they think it's ill-fitted. It's a bit too baggy.
It
People
looks
are kinda
baggy on that figure.
It does. It does. People are split over
I
the
prefer it from the figure.
the underpants outside look, where I know it's a classic look and everything like that. I honestly, I'm probably in the minority, but I just think it looks silly, and I know that's Superman or whatever. Like I never really liked that. I thought it was always kind of silly. But I get that people wanted that because it's a classic look, and that's fine. I don't think whoever posed this did this any favors. Terry didn't pose this. Terry's like a posing guru.
Yeah.
But what do you think so far? I'll play it through and we can go back to this. But yeah, just riff on this. What do you think?
I mean, I actually think it looks pretty good as in a figure form. I'm more impressed with the suit on this than I was seeing it in the film. It is quite comic booky. I do wonder how it will look next to your other live action superheroes. Like if you do have like Shane, I'm similar to you, so it's like one figure per shelf, so it's not as big an issue. But people that do have figures like that, I do wonder how it will look with them, because it has a more comic booky look to it. But I kind of like it so far.
The dog looked like it
The
flew
dog looks
in.
good. It does.
It looks like they've kind of molded it in a way that some of the mold bits are flicking up to make it look like hair. They probably should have done that with Han Solo, to be honest. But
Yeah.
they need to work on their animals. I don't think people were too impressed with,
Rufus
is it Marty
articulated.
McFly's dog or the cat from Miss Marvel? We kind of predicted this, didn't we? That Crypto
Had to happen.
would be there. I think I'm most excited about the dog, to be honest, in this movie.
Really?
Yeah, as in, like, I think it's really goofy and I don't think it's going to work at all. I don't think I'm going to like the movie. I just like dogs.
It's a dog with a cape. What's not to like? Yeah, he seems quite interested in it. Lex Luthor, what's his name? Nicholas Hoult.
Well, you see, what you have here is you have James Bond on the right and Q on the left. You have, like, the quarterback on the right and then the guy in Media Club on the left. That's what it is. Of course he's excited about it. He's Stranger Things here. Yeah. But, yeah, no, he's yeah, David Cornsweet was like, maybe he was just taken aback because it was his likeness, or maybe he's just like, who's going to buy that? But, like, yeah.
It could be that. He could be just humble on it. I still think if it was me and someone's like, "Oh, dude, I've got this 12-inch like figure of you," I'd be like, "Whoa!" At first, like, I mean, I'd be more into it, but I'd also be a bit taken by surprise. It must be a bit
you would,
surreal seeing that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thing is, I think they were probably better off bringing Terry in, because I think he's more passionate. He would have been there going,
Do you know what struck me actually? So these are all heavily involved in the film. Obviously, you got the director there, James Gunn. None of them knew about this. Like, I know it's not their like marketing and stuff. That's like a whole different department. But I always thought the actors would be more aware of like that. I don't know if that's just me, but like I'd have thought they'd know about it a bit more. I assume they get given a piece of paper that they basically just sign away their likeness in relation to this film.
Yeah,
I always thought
it's
like
the
there'd be
likeness
some
and the soul.
consulting a
You've
little
no
bit.
soul.
Yeah, there's a lot of money though, right?
It all just looks a little bit awkward, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. I would have thought they'd have known about it a bit more.
I do think I get when you say awkward, Bob. Are you talking about the situation? As in they don't know
Yeah,
what
it just
to say?
reminds. It's almost like I remember. Some people will remember there was a Beatles About thing or Michael McIntyre with David Beckham when they unveiled a statue that looked terrible of him.
Oh
It was
yeah,
sort of
that
filming
was awful.
and it was like filming his reaction because he obviously, the sculptor was there and, he didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And then it was like a big joke. And it just feels like that kind of awkwardness to me. It's like, we're weird men, but, how many grown men, love seeing, what's a toy in effect, we're just, we're quite a minority, aren't we?
Surely he's not naive enough to believe this sort of thing doesn't happen because McFarlane released, or at least announced, a Superman figure a month ago, maybe more. So he must be aware.
He knows. I just maybe they've been on tour according to the social media for the last month or so.
Yeah, so
Maybe more. So I'd say they're just like,
he really thought it was
this
shit.
yeah,
He really looked at it and thought,
that's what I think. I think my read was like, yeah, that doesn't look like me. That was my read on it. To be honest, but
That
yeah,
was mine.
I
And we see likenesses. I mean, even like that Han Solo. I mean, we see a likeness, but Harrison Ford maybe going, "What the f is that?"
Say,
That's,
who else
you know,
that?
that's
Harrison Ford, even if it looked as doppelganger, would be like he would.
yeah. I'm using him as probably a bad example, but there are probably like I can't remember the character who played Doc Ock, but I may have looked at that and thought,
Alfred Molina.
That's a banger. Whereas everyone else was going, it's
That figure, man, is awesome. I would not sit here and tell you it's a good head sculpt. But yeah, you put the glasses on that in the right pose and it just looks, it looks incredible. I might actually do a short.
Yeah.
The figure looks like Shooter McGavin. Dave, you're right.
Which one?
X-Men Supreme.
Oh, it looks like Shooter McGavin, does it?
Is that Happy Gilmore, yeah? It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy spends more time in the sand than David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
So, what are your chances of picking this up? We'll go through everyone. Bob.
0.
What if it's like the greatest movie ever made? What if it's like the new bar of comic book movies, the 5-star reference quality comic book superhero, and when you watch it, it's so good it brings about world peace and cures famine? Still no.
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously I've gone all Star Wars now, but I said to Jim earlier I enjoyed Squid Game so much that I'm tempted to pick up the figure and just stick him here in my Apex time case on his own. Nah, the movie won't be that good to me. I'm not that into superhero movies, if I'm honest. No, still for maybe 5% then if that happened.
It's a funny thing you say. First of all, I was asked the same question today, more or less, by Mike in our group chat, and I gave a kind of a somewhat sarcastic response. But I said, look, if it is that good, I'll be able to stand around and go, man, this is a masterpiece. Or okay, I don't think there's any chance it's going to be 5 stars. There might be some chance it could be 4 stars. I could come out going, you know what, guys, I was wrong. The trailers did nothing for me, but this movie was really good and I like it. And you know what, based on that, I might pick it up and I'm wrong. But you said something interesting there. You said you're not too into superhero movies. The funny thing is,
I know
I'm a
terrible thing
movie
to say on the
fan.
show.
No, it's not at all. We're more. I'm more partial to them obviously than you are, but
Yeah,
I'm a movie fan first.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And for every one good, as in like a 4 or 5 star superhero movie, the reality is there's probably at least 10 shit ones. I think that's a fair statement. And you could nearly work out the ratio with that. You take every superhero movie made in the last like 20 years. There probably would be, for every like absolute end game, there's going to be a.
I don't think if I did a top 10
whatever.
I think if I did a top 10 of my movies, I'm not sure a superhero movie would be in it.
Would The Dark Knight
Fair enough.
be in your top 10 movies ever made?
It would be fighting to get in, definitely. Yeah.
So if that's not in it, yeah, you're probably absolutely right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it could be around there. I mean, I just love, there's obviously those aspects of that I do love, especially the vehicles. But yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Just not my bag all the time.
Would Madam Web, maybe? No,
I don't think she would, but she, from what I've heard.
Jim, give us a percentage. What's the chance of you picking up this this figure, having not seen the movie?
Possibly 40. Yeah, it's a tough one. I would need to see the film. Even if I really like the film, I don't know if I'd jump on it straight away. If I'm honest, I have Henry Cavill, Superman. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to answer because it depends how far down the line this goes. Is this going to be an MCU but for DC? If it goes down that line, potentially, maybe, but I might give it a few films before I decide to invest in this new universe in figure form, because I want to see where that universe is going first, if that makes sense. So I'd probably say around 40%. But even if I come out of that film loving it, I will not immediately hit, if it's up for PO, the PO straight away. Hype purchases are just too...
It's a bad idea.
It is like Bob, we were talking about the Squid Game, and I was just like, after watching that season, I was like, oh man, I could do it, and I was like, no. It's like when you want to, it's a bit like when you're on a diet, right? And you're like, oh, I want that cookie. If you walk away for like 10 minutes, you come back and you're like, I'm good. Figures are exactly the same. If you're like, oh, I'm gonna buy it, if you just leave it, go away, do something for 10 minutes, come back.
This is what discipline looks like, people.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. True. That's a good analogy,
it's something
man.
you learn.
That is a good analogy.
Yeah.
That's like,
it's
the alternative is you end up like White Goodman, fucking Chuck Norris. You know, at the end of Dodgeball with the, you know, Dodgeball, and he's given up altogether and he's eating everything all around him. That's a good analogy. If you just walk away for 10 minutes, do something else. You know what I find a good one is? Ask yourself, will I like this in 10 years' time?
I think about that quite a lot, actually. And that's why I was thinking I'd like to see where the whole universe goes before investing in it. Because exactly that. Will I like it in 10 years? I don't know. Like,
you're not going to miss out on it. Even if it's one of these ones that's a grail, which is a nonsense term that doesn't happen. It might not double in price. It might increase by 20%, 50% maybe. And then if you really want it, you're going to pay it anyway. You just miss out on something else. Phil, you were out to say something there, really?
No.
What about yourself, Phil? What are your percentages of picking this up?
At the moment, 10, 20% maybe. But again, I mean, I know we were chatting earlier and taking the mick out of each other and all the rest of it, but I'll put the Range Trooper as an example. I forgot the Range Trooper even existed until Hot Toys announced the Range Trooper. And even at that point, it was kind of, I do collect troopers. Do I need this? And then again, not really. And then there was that one moment in Andor where I thought, shit, I need a Range Trooper.
Yeah.
And they announced it, and bang, day one pre-order. So
Do you know what it is? That's the bazooka effect, man. I think bazookas
100%.
are like, they're kind of like the trench coat duster thing. You add a bazooka to most figures.
So true.
And
The Joker with a bazooka, John Matrix with the rocket launcher.
Yeah, and the moment Superman turns up with that bazooka, bang, day one PO.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
But it's one of them. I mean, I don't want to make a critical judgment and say there's no way I'm getting that figure. I do quite like the suit. I'm not keen on the underpants on the outside, like yourself, Shane. But I do like the design of the suit overall. I'm not going to commit. I mean, it hasn't even been announced yet, has it? I mean, they've shown it at Corn Sweat. That could be a prototype development. It could be way off. I'm assuming they're not going to want to give anything away until the film's released.
No.
But I will wait. I'll wait for the movie. If it's an absolute banger, and I think, you know what, I like Cavill, but Corn Sweat is the way forward, I may pick it up. But I'm not holding my breath, I'm being completely honest.
Going back to the conversation earlier on, where Superman was never something that I was like, I was always captivated by the character of Batman in various different renditions, whether it was 89, even I had a soft spot for 66, 89, the Dark Knight trilogy, the animated series, and Superman was always someone who was like, he's cool, but I didn't really, I think maybe because it was like someone sat down going, okay, if I could have superpowers, what would they be? Yeah, I'd like to fly. We'd all like to fly. I'd like to have X-ray vision. We'd all like to have X-ray vision. I'd like to be able to destroy a tank with my laser eyes. That'd be cool. I'd like to be really strong. It's just like, write all the list of things that you're not, that you'd want to be. It was almost lazy, but it works because, he's got the cool cape and whatever, and it does work. And I know there's more to Superman than that. I'm not belittling it, but so I never really needed. I need the Reeves version. I need every single version. That INART BVS figure is phenomenal. I've posed it once, and I may never repose that again, because some figures you get them, there's the hype, and they look fantastic, and you're like, oh, I'm buzzing. You cannot take your eye off it, and then after a few months, you're like, yeah, it's still cool. It's still cool. But it maybe not as captivating as it was because it's not new, but it's still cool. It still belongs. But the Superman, no matter when I come into the room, I'm not sure I think it's probably a combination of the job they did in the figure, the pop of the colors, the suit design from BVS, the pop of the blue and the shiny bit underneath, and the dynamic cape with the flow and everything, and then the pose and the magnetic base. It just looks, it's just captivating. So I don't think I need another Superman. That's, but who knows? I'm probably about 10%. I'm probably like you. If the movie's like, if I have a lot of fun with the movie, because I think it's going to be that type of movie. I do think it's going to be a bit Guardians of the Galaxy. I think James Gunn won't be able to get out of his own way. And I think that's going to annoy hardcore comic book fans. Whereas I'm more of a movie fan. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go on board. Let's see his take on it. And I'll be open-minded in that sense. But, yeah,
definitely.
You know, I think we've one topic, and then we can wrap it up. So, are you okay for time for the face-off, or?
Yeah, down.
Yeah.
Wrap it up real quick. Okay, we talked about everything else. So, we need one person to sit this one out. So, anyone?
I don't mind sitting out today. I'm quite happy to sit out, watch.
So it's brilliant. The lads are like, damn, he spoke quick. Okay, so we're gonna do is we're gonna it's gonna be Phil against Jim. Okay, we'll do this real quick. All right, let's get the music going so we can end this. These people need to go to bed. Right. So we'll get the music going. Okay, we have our music going. Okay, so switch over to private chat, lads, and people in the chat, thanks for joining us. Hit the like and subscribe button. Please do not type in the answers. Okay, first question is for Phil. In what year did Iron Man release?
2008.
That is correct. 1 point. Jim, in what year did Infinity War release?
Infinity War. Okay. I'm gonna guess 2016.
Sorry, Jim. It was 2018, 1-0 to Phil. Now, I have tried to make an effort to make these questions a little bit more accessible. Phil, who directed No Way Home? That's Spider-Man No Way Home.
He's frozen.
No, I'm still here.
You didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you?
I know the answer to this, but I concede. Don't know.
It is John Watts. A chance to level, Jim. Who directed Avengers Age of Ultron?
Ooh. I think I'm wrong on this because I think they came in later, but I'm going to say the Russo brothers. I think they were later.
Oh, so close. That is wrong. It's Josh Whedon. So it's 1-0. Phil, to take it. Who played Darcy Lewis in Thor?
It's not Natalie Portman, is it?
Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
That is incorrect. It is Kat Dennings. A chance to level it. Your final chance, Jim. Who played Agent Phil Coulson in the MCU?
Oh,
That's a killer question. That's a killer question.
Name. He's one of those actors where you recognize him, but I just never pick out his name. I don't know. Phil Heath.
No, it is. I wouldn't have got this. No way. I wouldn't have got the last two. Clark Gregg. Congratulations, Phil.
Well done, Phil. On the
you
first
have
question.
exercised the
I
demon.
have exorcised the demons.
Good stuff, Phil. You are this week's winner. Well done. Good stuff. Thanks very much, Jim. Good sport. It's never easy. It's only easy when you know the answers, and they're tough enough questions. Folks, thank you.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks very much to all PAM members for taking time out of their evening to come on and have a chat about collecting and pop culture and everything. Thanks very much to people watching live and on the replay. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, consider being a channel member, leave a comment. All that stuff is greatly appreciated. And thanks for coming back. We have taken a break, but yeah, we'll be back at the normal time of Monday. Next Monday, it'll be either 8 or 9 p.m. It'll be posted, and yeah, hopefully we have some drops between now and then. I will probably be going live on Friday because I haven't streamed with Marco in a while, and we're trying to work out a time that suits him because he's working stuff like that when he's Pacific time as well. So I'll schedule that once I confirm with him. That'll be this Friday, and of course anyone else who wants to hop on as well. It'll probably, I think, I can't remember what time I think it was 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. That may or may not suit you, but yeah, I'll let you know. Anyway, anything coming up on your channels, your Instagrams? What should we pay attention for? Anyone want to plug anything at all?
I've got a big Shark Tank coming up on Jose and Marco's channel in August.
Good stuff.
With a
good
very
luck.
a very well known member of the community. So I'm screwed.
Interesting. Interesting. Does he like 4Ks?
Unfortunately, it's not him. I'd wipe my ass with. No, I wouldn't. Sorry, Ian. No, it's not. It's
I'll give you a word of advice, man. With your pitch, forget about what you like. Think about what the people like.
And that's exactly
so true.
what I'm playing to.
This is why I will never
exactly
win.
what I'm doing.
I went in with like an artisan Ellen Ripley from Aliens thinking slam dunk. Nope.
Well,
Nope.
I
They
vote
like
for you.
Spider-Man, man. They like Spider-Man.
no spoilers, but
I went in
originally I
with
was
Star
going
Wars,
in.
but
You did, mate, but Vita whipped your ass.
she did.
Yeah,
She
she
did,
did.
yeah.
She did. I thought your presentation, though, man, I was really impressed with how articulate you were and
was.
how passionate you were. And yeah, you didn't like mince your
you.
words or
Thank
anything like that. Like, very impressed.
No.
Yeah. You're in the zone, man.
prepared.
You were, yeah. It was good. Really, really good. I was going with a layer 2-pack, but like Shane just said, I haven't thought about it over the last week or so. I'm thinking, let's go with what collectors want.
Yeah, that
Not
is
what
a
I
good
want. Not what I
strategy.
want.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we'll end it there, unless anyone else has anything else they want to promote. Okay, folks. Go on.
No.
Jim, you okay?
No, I've got nothing. No, I was trying to think, but no.
See you, folks. Hopefully there'll be some drops tomorrow, and we'll do the videos and stuff like that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Good night. Bye-bye.